Hmm. Right, quickly, just let me upload and say I'm going live on this platform on my Instagram and TikTok. Is the sound? Well, guys, I swear. Bro, I know I'm muted. I know I'm muted. I should have just put something on. I genuinely should have just put something on. I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. Whew, what a 24 hours, bro. Unbelievable stuff. I saw it first. Mediocre violist said she knew someone there. Fix sound. No, you're not muted. I'm not muted. Stuff. I saw it first. Mediocre violist said she knew someone there. Fix sound. No, you're not muted. Be careful what you say as an American, bro. The Charlie Kirk's gonna arrest you all. You could look at the Epstein birthday book, bro. There's a lot of stuff. Just wants to hear your dulcet tones with zero downtime. Yeah, I know. I'm not lashing out. You were muted. I'm aware I was aware. I'm aware I was muted, but I know that I'm not muted now. You're like the one person I've seen sane but not super libbed out take on this. Yeah, I mean, I spoke about this. I understand what Hassan is saying in terms of, God, this is a very dangerous precedent, and people being shot at, political rallies is a sign of a profoundly fucking sick society, but what the fuck? Why are you eulogizing this guy? What? This guy was someone who advocated for more state violence against minorities. This was a guy who joked about George Floyd's death, who advocated for political violence. I understand and appreciate, the take of, oh, this will be used by the Trump administration to do bad things. Yeah, of course it will. But the Trump administration will use anything to do bad things. They were just gearing up to use the killing of a Ukrainian woman, refugee, by a black guy, and saying, look at this black monster who's killing people. So, they will use and do anything. But... And I'm not going to blame people for having reactions of this is really bad and stuff. But crying over Charlie Kirk is crazy work. Crazy fucking work. No, Hassan didn't eulogize him, but people are eulogizing this guy, bro. Eulogizing Charlie Kirk, crying over him. I just made a pretty annoyed TikTok over this. Let me say something clearly. The same people who did not give one single fuck about Anas al-Sharif getting killed, a guy who had a family, a guy who got blown to pieces and desecrated by Israel. And what was his crime? He was someone who was born and died in the Jabalia refugee camp. He made the brave decision to stay in the Jabalia refugee camp, and he was killed for that, for showing the world what was being done to his people. And none of these people posted about it. And by the way, it's this such a cynical thing of showing all these emotions. And part of the reason is because it's big fucking news. If you cry, people are going to watch it. If you get upset, people are going to watch it. And something I noticed is, all of those videos are just over a minute, bro. And I'm not saying it's about people liking him. I'm just saying, like, and I don't think Hassan gave, like, a eulogy of him, but so many people are like, oh, he's a great debater. Look at the responses of politicians, bro. Like, what? It's crazy. It's crazy. Charlie Kirk is someone who advocated for more violence and extremity in this world. Charlie Kirk is categorically someone who did that. The same people who tell you Trump is a dangerous fascist are giving Charlie Kirk eulogies when he is a guy who helped bring Trump to power. Like, look, I'm not saying everyone has to sit there and be like, whoa, this was awesome, like, amazing stuff. Because, like, you know, there's a lot of bad things will probably come from this. And at the same time, like, someone being shot at a political event is a really, really dangerous precedent. But at the same time, having to watch eulogies and all these people who advocate for political violence, who don't give a fuck about Gaza because it's bad for careers, because it's stuff that they can't talk about, because they're like, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to get the same amount of views, and then just talk about Charlie Kirk. I don't know, bro. Ethan Klein, for example. Ethan Klein uploaded a teary video about this, and he justifies bombing hospitals. He has used his platform to unequivocally support Israel, bro. Crazy work. Crazy work. But, as well, just like, America is such a profoundly sick society as well. Like, I think the hard truth is that it is just an indication. He was speaking at a fucking university event. Guns should be nowhere near universities. They shouldn't be anywhere. You shouldn't just have guns, like, around young kids, because look what it leads to. It leads to mass killing motivated by extremist ideologies all of the fucking time. And he is just someone who advocated constantly. Like, I'm sorry, you cannot escape the fact that Charlie Kirk said, that some gun deaths are just an unfortunate byproduct of keeping the Second Amendment. It's like, bro, it's crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. It is crazy stuff. And I know it'll be used by the administration. And I don't think that, like, you know, I'm going to say to some of you, it's probably not the best idea to be constantly posting about this in a positive manner when, you know, what the US government, with the way that the US government will go through your phones and stuff. So be very fucking careful about this. And I do believe that they will use it for a crackdown. But, I mean, just, by the way, this is like, I just want to be serious for a second here. It's so difficult listening to these insane people. This guy killed 2 protesters. They didn't help to elect Donald Trump. They were people who wanted to build a better world. And this guy got turned into like an awesome hero of the right. That End Wokeness account was posting about how much they loved Keith Darlington, that's his name, about how much they loved him. And they didn't, and now all of a sudden Charlie Kirk has been killed by extremist leftist ideology. It's like, brother, you created the environment. I saw the Subway meme. It's like, you made the sandwich. Because they did. And it's the same with Nigel Farage. The hundreds of children who die every year from gun violence are victims of political violence more than Charlie fucking Kirk. Exactly. And I think have reaction. People are entitled to whatever reaction they want. People are entitled to whatever reaction that they want to this kind of stuff. But at the same time, I think crying and like eulogizing him and saying how emotional you are about it is pretty crazy. What does the crackdown look like? Probably starting to say, well, if you've posted about this, you're going to alligator Alcatraz, a victim. But yeah, I agree with your statement, Nola Magnolia. And Palestinians, bro, like, you want me to eulogize and cry over the guy and feel major sympathy for a guy who advocated for more Palestinians being killed, who advocated for families being torn apart, whose entire life was dedicated to making the lives of transgender people harder, of making the lives of Palestinians harder, of minorities harder. He believed black people were fucking inferior to him, bro. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. Like, and I'll watch a TikTok that I actually enjoyed on this from a fellow content creator, because I am not sitting here and like fucking eulogizing Charlie Kirk. When All of these accounts had nothing.
One of the things that annoys me when a politically prominent person is murdered is that all politicians from all political colors come out to say that violence doesn't belong in politics. That is not true. Violence is at the heart of politics. But there is a type of violence that you value more than other types of violence. We do not value the violence that is enacted by the police that kills thousands across the world per year.
And also the more invisible violence of the state.
We do not value the violence that is meted out at immigrants, at asylum seekers. We do not value the violence that is meted out on homeless people, on disabled people. That is also violence. The violence of not giving people healthcare or
Yeah, I don't like that comment.
curtailing the access that they have to treatments. That's violence. There's the draining, everyday, petty violence of poverty that is enacted by decree. And I'm not even speaking about the violence that is meted at everyone and everything in a field of war. And that is violence that is decided in the political arena. Let's stop being hypocrites, because violence is at the core of the project of our state, of every political action. So miss me with the lamentations. One of the things that annoys me when a politically prominent
And I also very much enjoyed this
I've just
one.
heard the news that Charlie Kirk, the right-wing commentator, was shot at an event somewhere in Utah. It says his condition is unknown and the assailant has been arrested. Charlie Kirk has dedicated his adult career to hate, to spreading hate, to fostering...
Rip to the guy who thought a dolphin fetus without a doubt was a human being. Just the ridiculousness of hearing that this guy was like some wonderful debater. As I say, I'm not condoning shooting people at a fucking political event, but I don't think at the same time that like we should be eulogizing this guy. This guy was the person... He wanted a more violent society. He wanted violence against minorities and people who he disagreed with. And crying and like helping participate in this laundering of his reputation that you can see happening live right now from every politician. Like every politician around the world. I don't know, bro.
hate, to attacking the most vulnerable and marginalised people in society. Charlie Kirk gets paid to spread hate, to spread fear and to spread misinformation. If you spend your life attacking people, spreading hate, spreading misinformation, then somebody somewhere is going to take action. You simply cannot dedicate your life and your career to being and doing and saying the things that Charlie Kirk is, does and says without any consequences. Well, here are the consequences, Charlie Kirk. I've just heard...
And like this and how, sorry, I need to move my light. And how he's just being called like a rational voice. Sorry, I'll come back. I won't say this without it when it's not into the mic, I realise. He's just being called like a rational voice. He's just being called all of these things. Like the only thing that would have changed things for Charlie Kirk was there not being guns in America. Like not just being guns like that are freely available to people who are unwell, to people who suffer from mental health issues, to people who get groomed into extremist ideologies online. I'm sorry, it's crazy work. Yeah, and this isn't, and like, I'm sorry, that like, just hearing his reputation laundered, and at the same time, bro, these are the same people meeting with Israeli politicians. I've seen more people seemingly convinced this was a Mossad initiative to assassinate him. Do you think there's any merit to this hypothesis? Why would Mossad assassinate Charlie Kirk? Like, what would be the point of assassinating Charlie Kirk? Like, genuinely, what does Charlie Kirk do that is so injurious to Israel? He's a little bit skeptical and probably is anti-Semitic, but they don't care about that kind of stuff. He's not like world #1 Zionist, but like, I don't know. I just don't know why Mossad would assassinate him. Whoever assassinated him is a crazy shot, though. Like, that distance is crazy. Also, by the way, all of the Israeli far-right eulogize this guy. I do not think that should be discounted. If you are having the same reaction to Itamar Ben-Gvir about an event, a guy who revels in torturing people, maybe there's something wrong there, bro. I don't know. If your reaction to an event is like, oh my god, I feel the same as Itamar Ben-Gvir. My thoughts this evening are with the loved ones of Charlie Kirk. It is heartbreaking that a young family has been robbed of a father and a husband. We must all be free to debate openly and freely without fear. There can be no justification for political violence. This guy was with Isaac Herzog yesterday. He was with Isaac Herzog. This is the guy whose government have taken away benefits from disabled people, so they suffer at the hands of his project. And just these gushing reactions for him. Itamar Ben-Gvir tweeted out like a little soppy love story to him. Someone just posted this, which is a video of Itamar Ben-Gvir saying in Hebrew, we got to his car and we'll get to him, talking about Yitzhak Rabin. He's literally someone who murdered or participated in the murder of the leftist. And if you believe the New Yorker was allegedly going to kill him that day, allegedly, according to the New Yorker, said that there's rumours. So I don't believe that. Thanks for actually this on like Hasana, do not worry. I mean, like, it's messed up that this is happening to Kirk, and I hope the media starts showing the same empathy for dead American journalists in Gaza, by the IOF. Yeah, I mean, as I say, this is like a profoundly sick thing to happen. Like, someone being shot on a university campus is crazy, bro. That's like not normal, and that kind of stuff shouldn't be happening. But at the same time, this is like Charlie Kirk was an advocate for extremist violence, bro. And like gushing reactions to like, oh, I can't believe that this happened to Charlie. And, oh, I just had profound disagreements with him. Bro, you believe that Trump is a fascist and he brought him to power. You can say at the same time, I don't think people should be getting shot at political events. I don't think people should be getting shot in public and not maybe eulogizing him or laundering his reputation. I don't know though, bro. Is that not possible? Because I think I have a big problem with eulogizing him. I think I have a very big problem. And surely you must see that that is also, if you think people who didn't vote for Kamala Harris contributed to fascism, mind you, there was a school shooting in Colorado. Exactly! Children were shot that day, and it's just not news. And that was the world that Charlie Kirk wanted. Charlie Kirk, along with Turning Point USA, set up a watch list of professors. He made a watch list of professors. Ethan Klein, call out TikTok. Have fun on stream, everyone. Thank you, Silent Scythe, for being here. Thank you for your donation. Thank you for your support. I missed a donation as well. Let me just check the donation I missed. Are we going to talk about Trump's AI hand video? Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy video. I don't know how real it is or not, but I personally think that was a very disrespectful of him to get shot. Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have got shot on the day before 9/11. But Charlie Kirk, and I'm sure that there'll be people who want to clip this and say, look how evil I am. Bro, these are the people who have laughed in the face of Palestinians for years. Professor watch list. This is set up by... this was set up and it was done to target specific professors. Rebecca Schumann described the website as abjectly terrifying and said that she feared for the safety of the listed professors. Like, they were just eroding academic freedom for years. What did Matt Dowd even say?
What was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
Bro, how is that a take worthy of losing your job? The collusion between the global left and radical Islam is the greatest danger to humanity today. Charlie Kirk saw the danger and warned about it, but the bullets of the despicable murderer struck him. Do you know how many people's lives have been torn apart by this kind of thinking? This is tearing Palestinians' lives apart. Right now. This tore apart millions of people's lives in Iraq and justified it for so many people, right? It justified it for so many people. And this is what Charlie Kirk believed him. So this eulogizing and this thing of like, oh, Charlie, he was just, he was just a debater. Bro, Charlie Kirk was a really serious extremist who advocated and profited from trying to bring the world to be a more extreme, violent place. Jupiter Ball's definition of violence is basically Fraulo Frez. I mean, it's like a very... I've not heard it from him, but I assume Mamdani's dad spoke about it. Have they caught the perpetrator? Oh, they've released the first photos of him. This is the guy who allegedly did it. Oh, so wait, this was a trans radical jihadist. I see. He cries for Charlie and doesn't give a shit about Gaza. Bro, Ethan didn't cry about Anas al-Sharif. He's never posted. Or pinned a man down, but he wasn't. They believe may be involved in Kirk's death. Yeah, I mean, this is why I also say to some of you, be very careful. The US Undersecretary of State, appropriate action will be taken against foreigners who glorify violence. In a post on X, Landau says he has been disgusted to see comments on social media praising, rationalizing, or making light of the killing of Charlie Kirk. Arbitrary fucking authoritarian speak. Making light. Like, bro, what? Of the killing of Charlie Kirk, and those who glorify violence and hatred are not welcome visitors to the country. Bro, I'm never going to America. I'm never going to this country. Ever. He says he has directed consular officials to undertake appropriate action and tells his followers to bring such comments by foreigners to my attention so that the State Department can protect the American people. Look at, oh my god. Like, look at, this is in the BBC. I'm sorry, but all these people who cry on and on about the rise of fascism, look at what the BBC's reporting. I've been speaking to a young activist, Chandler Crump, who says meeting Charlie Kirk at the age of 14 changed my life. Chandler, who is now 20 and describes himself as a Gen Z political commentator, never heard of him, first met Kirk at the Young Black Leadership Summit in 2018, which was sponsored by the conservative group Turning Point USA, founded by Kirk. Since then, he has been to every single Turning Point national conference and met Kirk many times. We were young black leaders wearing MAGA hats, and he said it doesn't matter if you are black or white. No, it only matters of your intelligence or whether you should be subjected to violence. Political figures tend to speak down to us, but he did not. He is paying attention to us. That's why young people listen to him. Growing up in Atlanta, Georgia Chandler says, I met Charlie at a time when there was a sense that young people were down and out and struggling. We felt weak and he empowered us. Chandler says he is absolutely convinced that Kirk helped President Trump win the election. The moment worked hand in hand with the Trump campaign to get out the vote for Trump, he says. Speaking on the phone through tears, Chandler feels a real sense of loss. I am torn. Bro, these are kids. You are talking about kids speaking to a man who justified political violence. Oh, goodness me. What, Chandler Crump? Oh, what kind of name is Chandler Crump? Interesting name. The sound's been removed, but it looks like he's saying that he's talking about people are eating pet. Bro. How? I'm sorry, but participating in this eulogizing culture is so dangerous.
And welfare, all sorts of things that eventually ruin our culture and place us where we are now.
So
but I want to get back to the history of it, because we're talking about...
Well, I just want to make sure we're clear. Giving them...
This is maybe he was on that path anyway, but like, it's crazy work to just be talking about him like that.
Money hurt them, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yes, giving them, because if your father's out of the home, that's when we give you the money. If you're living in this housing,
so then give them the money while the dad's
rent-free,
well, then give them the money while the dad's in the home.
If you're working this amount of hours and getting less than this amount of dollars, you're getting money from the government. Yes, it is incentivizing. You're throwing the baby out.
Oh, I'm not listening to this guy. Just rubbish. Slop. So, Steven Crowder shared some fake news to incite violence already. So, apparently this was done by a radical transgender and anti-fascist ideology. So that was what was reported, but a senior law enforcement official with direct knowledge of the investigation cautioned that the report had not been verified by ATF analysts and did not match the summaries of the evidence and might turn out to have been a misread or misinterpreted. In fast-moving investigations, such status reports are not made public because they often contain a mixture of accurate and inaccurate information. Well, that doesn't actually really confirm what it was. But, like, to this day, like...
is coming to the West. And the enemies are wokeism or Marxism. The spiritual battle is coming to the West. And the enemies are wokeism or Marxism combining with Islamism to go after what we call the American way of life. And the American way of life is very simple. I want to be able to get married, buy a home, have kids, allow them to ride their bike till the sun goes down, send them to a good school, have a low-crime neighborhood, not to have my kid be taught the lesbian, gay, transgender garbage in their school. While also not having them have to hear the Muslim call to prayer 5 times.
While also not letting them hear the Muslim call to prayer. Look how much vitriol is in this guy's life. And just because the people getting killed because of what he says live in other countries, the ideology that he spreads out into the world, spare me the eulogies. You can condemn violence on a campus. You can condemn someone being killed for speaking at a university and America's gun culture. But my God, sitting there and eulogizing this man as some kind of amazing advocate for free speech is unbelievable stuff. He literally admitted that he and the Trump administration collaborated with TikTok to help boost his platform to young people.
Today. That's important.
And by the way, people who share his kind of ideology. You can look at this. There's a biker gang called Infidels MC, a US biker gang calling themselves Modern Crusaders and mocking Islam. These people are killing Palestinians right now. Starving Palestinians. They are out there tormenting them. Infidels. Let's have a look. It's really hard for me.
We want the American way of life, which is, by the way, Christendom. Christians, our sacrifice, our toil, our vision, the outgrowth of the scriptures gave us Western civilization. And this is where I think is a great rallying cry. Doesn't matter if you're Hispanic, doesn't matter if you're Asian, doesn't matter if you're black or white.
Thank you for your very profound message, Shiva Canada. Saying that I am an F-slur lover. You lover of evil and evil things. You lover of murderers. How dare you say that we're bad? You are the most evil people on the planet today. Thank you for that one.
Buddy, if you are Christian and Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, these two threats are combining forces to come after us. And it's time that...
This is Nazi-like ideology. This is straight up Nazi-like ideology. And I'm sorry, like, as I say, I don't think Charlie Kirk being shot on a university campus is, like, awesome or amazing. But I will not eulogize, and I will not sit here and feel mega sympathy for someone who wanted those things to happen to people all over the world.
The church stands and rises up against it. Yep. The spiritual...
Islam is the sword the left is using to slit the throat of America. Bro, these people want Muslims to die and suffer. They want Muslims to die and suffer. They want trans people to die and suffer. They want every time that there's a school shooting to blame it on trans people. So people hate them. So people think trans people are responsible for all of the ills of society. I'm sorry, I think it's just like... the eulogies, and it's this whole thing, and I'm not saying everyone who made a TikTok where they were upset is or a video was eulogizing him, but fuck me, politicians certainly are, and I feel like a lot of people are contributing to that. Thank you for the 10 gifted, Nola. Incredibly appreciated. Incredibly kind. But at the end of the day, he wasn't important. No, and I think the US government will use this for reprisals. I think it just expedites the right word. Speeds up. Yeah, happen sooner. Yeah, I was looking for that word. I was worried I was going to say it wrong. I think it expedites the process of just them looking for something to justify doing bad things to many, many, many people. I think that is exactly what they're going to use this for. I think that that's just the hard truth of it all. I think that is exactly what is... I too was say by the whitewashing of Charlie Kirk. 100%. And I feel like the whitewashing of just, bro, you guys are meant to be against fascism. Like, this still has to be called out today. And it's also, by the way, it's like a content thing. People wouldn't talk about Anas al-Sharif because they know that talking about Anas al-Sharif in frank terms gets you in trouble. That's not the path to, doing well in like political circles. But like, just watching him have his reputation laundered, insane. Insane. Escalation. None of these kids that were killed mattered at all to him. Creating an environment in which people engage in more violence and encouraging, as literally in the UK, we are seeing far-right riots and attacks on immigrant communities growing. And people like this, who are Americanizing our politics, who are spreading these kind of Nazi-like ideas about Judeo-Marxism, now just changing it to Islamo-Marxism. Accelerationist, no. I will simply never come out of the closet. I don't know if you just wanted me to repeat that. Chris, you need to get on the H3 pod tomorrow and rinse Ethan dry and finish him off. I don't think I'm going on the H3 podcast any day, bro. I don't think Ethan will ever bring me on it. Get the likes up. You can like if you... people feel free to... Bro, my blood pressure is like up here right now. Charlie Kirk posted about the UK grooming gangs. I'm sure he did, and this is not. This is someone who purports to care about women and children, whilst advocating for people who suffer, who are attacked, to carry that baby to term, like a baby, like a young child who gets sexually abused, and this kind of stuff happening. Unbelievable. Sorry, I actually have a docket of things I wanted to talk about. I mean, we'll watch Trump's video. Oh, fucking Truth Social.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah.
People didn't care when the Prime Minister of Yemen got assassinated. People didn't care when Hamas members' entire families got assassinated. That's kind of the politics that they like.
Charlie inspired me.
How dare you to celebrate in front of... It's literally not the point I've been making about how I'm celebrating in front of his family getting killed. What I'm saying is that I am not incredibly... I'm not, like, moved to tears or feelings of incredible sadness about Charlie Kirk. Someone who literally profiteered from making others' lives miserable.
And tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot.
Yeah, that video's edited bizarrely. I don't get why.
Charlie was a patriot who devoted, was a patriot. And horror. Charlie was a patriot.
That's not a natural human movement, even if you're editing two scenes together, no.
Who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American...
It's a weird frame rate thing. Oh, is it?
...people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved
oh, motherfucker, what is this stupid
children,
platform?
And his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a
Can't be sure, but the photo looks like he's wearing a Teddy Fresh hat. I'm sure he's not, bro.
a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate.
He looks less orange, also AI. No, they'd orange him up if he was AI. It's also just, it looks like there's nothing, like, in his mouth. It just looks like it's teeth, if you know what I'm saying.
His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever. To share his love.
Making young people into Nazis. Also, by the way, Ben Shapiro was definitely better at that. Ben Shapiro had a way bigger appeal. Like, Ben Shapiro was way more... Well, maybe Charlie Kirk's taken that position from when I was younger. You know.
Love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree.
Oh, so you mean... No, I don't want my camera like that. Oh, so you... demonizing those with whom you disagree. Bro, you are someone who calls, like, Hamas Nazis and justifies killing them constantly whilst simultaneously supporting Israel. Like, I'm sorry, it's difficult listening to these people.
Day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst.
I mean, Charlie Kirk believed in extremist identity politics, so what's wrong with comparing him to a Nazi?
Mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible.
This video does actually really look fake.
For the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as...
I mean, this is why also, you know, probably some crazy stuff is gonna happen. Crazy stuff will happen as a result of this kind of stuff. Like, the thing that he wants to do, the things that he is wanting to do, the things that he wants to inflict, and will try and use this as a justification for, bro, worrying things are happening. But this is always what he's been wanting to do.
Those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people.
This video is actually, I'm the more I watch it, I think it's increasingly fast. Yeah, I checked if it was on slow-mo because I think that this could be genuinely, it does look strange. No, I don't think it's... I think if it's one thing, I think the reason that it would be like this is because Donald Trump is now so old that the only way they can get him up is through loads of preparation to ensure that he's able to, like, that he's able to do anything. And when it comes to, like, something like this that he had to respond to very quickly, they couldn't get him out. They couldn't fix him up.
And taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves...
And you're right about me checking if it's slow-mo. Crazy.
...to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died. The values...
But in the same way that, like... In the same way that Luigi Mangioni's action was something that is a sign of a profoundly sick society, is this not? That, like, the thing that's happened because of the violence of American society? Because of the violence that healthcare inflicts on people, and what that drove Luigi Mangione towards, you know?
Of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory, may God watch over his family, and may God bless...
It just... Are there any other videos that you can find of him like this? Does anyone know of, like, another video where I can see something of him looking like this? It's Donald Trump. Address. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know if I'll find something similar because all of it just looks so weird. It just looks very strange. Google White House desk. Trump changed everything in the White House. He made it all way more gold. So, yeah. The man who stoked more strife and violence. Here's the tweet. I mean, at the same time, just listening to this guy, someone who's brought misery to the lives of so many, and Charlie Kirk wanted to bring that to power. Here's someone which I'm not going to read the full article of, but that's a good quote. "We need a future where Americans can partake in politics without getting shot. That will require defeating the fascist movement that Kirk devoted his life to promoting." And that is what Charlie Kirk stood for and promoted. That is exactly what Charlie Kirk made a career out of promoting. And he tried to promote that in my country and doing all of these things. And stoking violence against marginalised people. Why does he and his office seem so fake and plastic? I don't know. As he didn't change right, but even if he would... He's probably got a marble desk now. Typical narcissism, worried about his appearance and validation. Pfft. The media will forget about Kirk by next week. They're just not used to their suffering. The problem is that Trump seemingly wants to use this for something a lot bigger than Kirk. I mean, just look at Trump today, though. This has an annoying buzz on it, so maybe I'll just speak over it. Actually, no, they read out the names of...
Colonel Kip P. Taylor, United States Army.
Charlie Kirk shuttled people to January 6th. Kirk. Did he actually? They're already writing about how this could be a moment of jeopardy for America. He had more than 7.3 million followers on TikTok, 7 million on Instagram, and 5 million. This also, by the way, saying that he's someone that captured the hearts of like young people and was like, it got them involved in politics. Social media platforms are manipulated to promote this kind of stuff. This is no secret. Charlie Kirk is someone who has like negatively impacted the lives of so many young men and has pushed young men towards despicable ideologies, to push young men towards enacting violence. Oh, fuck. My HDMI cable just turned off. Mossad are turning off my HDMIs.
Leonard E. Taylor.
Did Trump also always look like this? Did Trump like always look like his face was drooping down like that?
Sandra C. Taylor. Sandra D.
Mossad have sent the nanobots to destroy my PC. Imagine if having a sniper was illegal. Yeah, no, bro. Everyone needs to have snipers. But yeah, I think that's like the better take than eulogizing him is, which I agree with, is like, bro, why are you just like advocating for there to be guns anywhere on campuses? Everyone should just have guns to fix everything.
T.
Strokey the clown.
Hilda E. Taylor.
Oh, sorry, we're just listening to the same video again. Also, my picture looks shit today, and I don't know why. Hold on, actually, I'm going to go try something to fix it. Hold on 1 second, guys. And then I've accidentally muted my mic. I'm sympathetic to gun control. Guns certainly don't make anyone safer, but putting the bourgeois state in charge of all armament cannot be allowed. I mean, but like in the UK, like... In the UK, the thing is that just like people aren't getting shot at schools regularly. Okay, so I personally am like, I don't know. I think that just having like free and easy access to guns is very problematic. I mean, the other problem is though, is Americans aren't going to give them up because so many people are radicalized into believing this kind of stuff, you know. I don't know. Wait, what was I looking at? Oh, sorry, I was trying to, I'm just seeing if there's been any other posts that I want to...
Charlie Kirk's family, having spent...
Elizabeth Warren probably had her first ever decent take.
Right, why don't you... Oh, please. Right, why don't you start with the President of the United States, right? And every ugly meme he has posted, and every ugly word.
She's making a fair point, you know. It's not like Trump was someone who really who didn't want violence. FBI has offered £70,000 for information. Yeah, I'm reading it off in pounds because I'm not a burger-loving American like all of you. I did see Hassan's reaction. Yes, I did see Hassan's reaction to all of this. Also, I don't know what is going on. I don't like the lighting today. It's okay. I guess it's my picture's clear, so who cares? Right. Kirk was courageous soul, US Director of National Intelligence. I did see the article about witches. Those witches, as I said to Tony Soprano Lover when they sent it to me, those witches are getting dunked, bro. Those witches are going in the river. That's all I'm saying. The internet has ruined me in 1,000... Like the stream or face the consequences. Hell yeah. Nice clever pun there. Thank you, man with long last name. Don't want it to rain on your wedding day? There's a spell for that. Want the man who cheated on you to develop an incurable rash or premature balding? None of you better get involved in that. If you've never heard of him, I envy you. He debates college kids for sport, pops up on Fox News, and founded right-wing conspiracy theory factory Turning Point USA, billed as non-profit. Turning Point is less a charity and more about funneling far-right propaganda into dorm rooms under the guise of educating young voters. That's what you're literally seeing him eulogized as. You are seeing him eulogized as this guy who, like, loved political debate. You know? Through these ventures, Kirk has transformed into a reliable pawn, parroting Project 2025 talking points and championing the owning of libs. He's basically a fake news vending machine with a terrible haircut. Sadly, Trump's re-election only ensured I'd be seeing more of that god-awful haircut. A cornerstone of his nightmare is his insistence that gaining more independence, Western women are more miserable than ever. He tells auditoriums full of young women that our freedom is a flaw, not an achievement. He's obsessed with declining birth rates and idealizes the 1950s, when women's only job was tending to children and husbands. If we all abandoned our careers and returned to motherhood, we'd be happier, according to Kirk. Indeed, he fails to realize that I would be happiest if he would just shut up. Bro, this article... This author is going to Alligator Alcatraz. That's all I'm saying. And this person is definitely going to Alligator Alcatraz. Throughout history, society has branded bold and assertive women as witches to silence them. Since Kirk already assumes every liberal, college-educated woman and is a feminist which hell-bent on destroying civilization, even recently declaring that the Jezebel spirit has just infected an entire generation of young ladies. Shout out, we're reclaiming it. If Kirk wants a villain, I'm more than happy to be the hag of his nightmares. Bro. Now, is it ethical to curse a man I've never met? Probably not. But is it unethical to let him keep talking? Yes, so here we are in the grey zone. I want to make it clear I'm not calling on dark forces to cause him harm. Bro, but this is what happens when you mess with the occult. We saw the African uncles being scared the other day, and we laughed. We laughed at the African unks. The unks from Africa. We laughed at them. I'm not laughing now. Oh, should I have said the Jezebel? Imagine the I thought about the assassination of Mayor Kahana, to be honest. Mayor Kahana got killed by an Egyptian guy in New York. And I think people would be like, Mayor Kahana had a right to his views, and his views were just unlimited genocide on the Palestinians, and, oh, what if you could make Hitler's ideology just pro-Israel? Like, that was literally just all that Mayor Kahana advocated for. He didn't advocate for anything good, and he got assassinated, and people would be eulogizing him. It's like, we need to actually have nice debate with people like Mayor Kahana, and it's like, bro, Mayor Kahana killed people, and advocated for torturing and Palestinian. Was Kahana shot in the throat? I know the guy, like, pretended to be an Orthodox Jewish person and just went up to him and just shot him. An Egyptian-born... He was initially charged and acquitted with... Kahana was assassinated. Does it mention where he got shot? It was part of the alleged... Kahana was buried... Well, Google AI Overview is telling me that he was shot in the neck. So, yeah, but people would be eulogizing him today. Wait, what was I looking at before? Oh, the Jezebel witches. Jezebel? What? How did you want me to say it? Jezebel? I'm not calling Dark Force to time him. I just want him to wake up every morning with an inexplicable zit. I want his podcast microphone to malfunction every time he hits record. I want his blue blazers to suddenly all be one size too small. I want one of his socks to always be sliding down his foot. I want his thumb to grow too big to tweet. I want to ruin his day with the collective feminist power of the Etsy Coven. Would be my life's greatest joy. Naturally, I did what any serious journalist would do. I typed curse my enemy into the Jezebel search bar. Into Etsy's search bar. 5,000 results. Should I try karmic revenge, same day bad luck curse, or insanity hex? Or my personal favourite, simply hex Republicans. The reviews were their own kind of magic. One 5-star review. Career crusher curse. Read, she has such a sweet, charming, bubbly personality. J'adore. So not exactly the witches of Salem. These Etsy witches were streamlined for the internet age and spoke fluent emoji. Then I found the crown jewel. Shit your pants spell review. It really worked, thank you. At that point it was clear I'd need to order multiple curses at different severity levels and price points to guarantee these results. Bro. I'm telling you. She messed with the occult. She messed with the occult, and look what happened. And you're laughing after she messed with the occult? After placing my first spell, make everyone hate him. I was left with more questions than answers. How long would it take to kick in? Should I have splurged for a pricier spell to make it work faster? Shortly after, the witch messaged me trying to upsell me a $50 spell booster. When I asked what it did, she explained it would amplify the energetic support of the main spell, or else I could let it unfold in its natural chiming. I decided to trust the witch's will. I can't really remember what happens with them, but didn't Geralt trust the witches in The Witcher 3 and the witches betrayed him and tried to kill Ciri? So I think you could... Christopher Hitchens, Jerry Falwell. He was so full of shit that had they given him an enema, they could bury him in a matchbox. For the powerful hex spell, I had to provide Kirk's date of birth for accuracy. He was actually born one day before me, obviously many years before. The witch performed the hex, but her response was unsettling. I just completed your spell, and it was successful. You will see the first results within 2 to 3 weeks. However, I did notice disturbances, negative energies, not only from you, but projected at you, likely from toxic family members, co-workers, or new acquaintances. I panicked. I replayed recent encounters. The barista at my coffee shop, she was always rude, so probably not. Then I read the rest of the message. Would you like to purchase a protection spell? Another upsell. These witches weren't just spellcasters, they were saleswomen, and they had perfected it. I reached out to a third witch, Priestess Lilin, for clarification. She explained the differences in prices aren't really about better/faster magic, but rather the complexity of the spell work. She told me in an Etsy message, some workings are small, focused intentions with minimal tools, while others are more intricate and involve rather rarer ingredients, more time, and sometimes even repeated castings to build up and direct the energy for our clients. I wonder what ingredients she used to curse Charlie. A MAGA hat submerged in flames? An IUD? And if enough people cursed a single person, would the results be stronger? When I asked if she'd noticed more political figures being targeted these days, she said yes. Clients often turn to spells when they feel unheard or powerless in the usual systems. Our magic becomes both a personal release and a way of reclaiming control, she wrote. Whether the target is a boss, an ex, or a public figure, the underlying current is the same. People want to shift the energy in their lives and the world around them. And there I was in the year of 2025, staring at my computer, chatting with a witch on Etsy, right? The next day, the priestess sent me proof of her cast, a photographing in flames, the edges slowly curving inward, engulfing Charlie Kirk's ridiculous scrunched up little face. She whispered, I imagine, trust the unseen, chills. I timed this perfectly with the August new moon in Virgo. According to astrology girls on TikTok, this specific new moon is the perfect time for forming new habits and aligning goals. My personal goal, cursing The stars were aligned. Sunday, August 24th passed. Nothing happened. Still nothing. Tuesday rolled around, and I began to wonder if I'd been scammed. But then I reminded myself, this is witchcraft, not Amazon. These forces operate on their own schedule. Begone fruity accent. Jesus Christ. Did they say what Etsy witch they used? Just curious. Ask him for a friend. Oh, we'll look at Asmongold. Charlie Kirk. Whatever happened there? Your cousin, whatever happened there? Whatever happened there? Talk about the Virgo new moon. Fuck. By Wednesday, I checked Kirk's socials to see if he was spouting anything new. And of course, he was. This time, he was weighing in on Taylor Swift's engagement, tweeting, young women should get married just like Taylor Swift is planning. You will be happier. Then on an episode of the Charlie Kirk Show, he told the Taylor Swift to reject feminism. Submit to your husband, Taylor. Bro, like, just even these views. These are crazy, crazy things to say. It dawned on me, the witches didn't even need to curse him. The Swifties will handle him now. And let's be real, Bro. Are the FBI exploring Swifties? Or was sicking the Swifties onto Kirk the curse actually working? Then there was more. Utah State University launched a petition to bar Kirk and Turning Point USA from visiting the campus on his college tour. Charlie Kirk, a highly polarizing figure, does not align with the core values and ideology that Utah State University epitomizes. Bro. It is crazy that, you know, that this happened, because maybe Trump will be like, universities are radical and woke. They wanted to get rid of, they wanted to prevent Charlie Kirk, and that's why he got shot. I believe if it was Laura Uma who wrote this, Quasimodo predicted this. Never fight Swifties in quote tweets. The petition was launched on Friday, August 22nd and had already been signed over 3,800 times. Could this be make everyone hate him at work? Then I saw the tweet that certified the results. His head is getting bigger, the post read, alongside a clip of Kirk telling a Swiftie, she's not in charge. I believe this is it. Slowly over the course of the coming months, the circumference of Charlie's head will increase inch by inch until he becomes a literal human bobblehead. Or maybe it keeps growing until everything pops. Either way, it feels appropriate. Bro, no one knows this. No one knows this. I didn't even do a Trump impression today. So, it was a Keir Starmer impression. It's just a bad Rick and Morty impression. Past the Swifties, saying this is a Swiftie. Buddy, they already going after universities. Oh, no, I know. Quote tweets. Cutie quote tweets. It's hilarious. I thought it was Swifties in the quote tweets, but I don't know what that means. So did my curses work? Time will tell. The forces move in mysterious ways. And as the priestess reminded me, spell work is a collaboration between the caster, the client, and the universe itself. For now, we can only trust in the timing of the great unknown. A special thank you to the witches of the modern age who work tirelessly to hex Republicans and topple conservative regimes, and the occasional boyfriend. Your work is appreciated. And to you, Charlie Kirk, may the rash come swiftly. Bro. That's crazy. That is crazy. Have they posted about anything? Oh my god. He got cursed. Do you want to hear? Should we watch Rabbi Shmuley talking about this?
Hi everyone. It's odd to have to make this comment from a hospital where I am right now, but I know Charlie Kirk extremely well. We've been friends for more than a decade. Thank God I was involved in bringing Turning Point closer to Israel. I spoke for Turning Point so many times. Introduced Charlie to many pro-Israel supporters, benefactors. This is such a tragedy, his shooting. And I want to tell you, as we pray for he's 31 years old, and he's a father and a husband. As we pray, and a phenomenal friend to the Jewish people in Israel, as we pray for his complete recovery in his life.
I will say, last night, I didn't want to say, oh, he's dead without, like, 100% knowing. Without 100% knowing what he, what he was, with whether he was dead or not. Bro, that video was insane. That video was so graphic. So graphic. Crazy stuff.
We should all be praying. I have to say I'm not in any way surprised or shocked. The culture of demonization, especially of pro-Israel activists, and he's so pro-Israel on campus, it's become lethal. And I live with lethal threats every day of my life, and it shocks my wife and my children and all the people around me, and it's become sick. And you'll say to me, okay, but the guy who shot him, we don't know why. Yeah, we don't. But we do know that it's the pro-Israel activism and activists who get the most threats. And from these disgusting anti-Semitic sickos. Yes, it's also demonization of conservative activists and MAGA and all that, of course. But Israel is the top of that list.
Israel is the top of that list. Bro, everything has to be about Israel.
And remember, like even with President Trump, the #1 country trying to assassinate him is Iran. Not because of trans stuff or anything, but because of...
By the way, the assassination things by Iran are so dubious.
Trump's incredible support for Israel and how he took out Qasem Soleimani. So I pray for Charlie Kirk, and all of you should pray. My show's going to be dedicated to him today and his recovery. Watch it soon, God willing.
But like, yeah, just setting up a GoFundMe for yourself. How much money do you think he made? Oh, I bet these are funny. Oh my god, he raised $700. And it was mostly from a guy called David Ox. Can you see the comments? Can you see the donations? Hold on, let me see what I can do. Brady Pistilli gave $50 a month. This is all public stuff. Who is David Ox? Oh my god, it looks like he's someone who works at... Oh my god, I don't even know what to do here. It looks like he's someone who might work for Netflix, but I don't know. I don't know if it's him, so who fucking knows. I guess there's a couple of other things left to cover. I mean, that is crazy work, making it just about you getting funding. But let's watch Asmongold's take on this. We are not watching this in normal speed. I'm not watching a video of Asmongold in normal speed. Also, why is my things constantly zoomed in?
Get into the main topic of the video. Hey guys, it's me again, and it's been a little while. Just before I get into the main topic of the video, I want to explain why there haven't been any videos. My dad has been in the hospital for the better part of a week now, a very serious situation, and I wanted to make a video about it and talk about the obvious and inevitable nature of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This happened a few hours ago, and it was probably one of the most gruesome and graphic, and this is coming from somebody who grew up on LiveLeak, videos I've ever seen. The first time I saw a video, I thought it was AI generated. The guy gets shot in the neck and blood is spurting out. I didn't even know it could do that. And it was absolutely fucking horrifying to see something like that happen in front of a massive audience of people. Now, if you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, Charlie Kirk has been a pretty noteworthy, controversial guy. He's a conservative. He goes to a lot of college campuses, does live debates. This is a pretty popular format nowadays, and Charlie Kirk has been popularizing it and utilizing it now for many years, and he was even featured in South Park recently because of it. Charlie Kirk definitely is not a super radical right-wing person.
Bro, he believed that women shouldn't have rights and hated black people. I think that's pretty fucking radical. I feel like sanitizing his reputation is crazy work. Like, the things Charlie Kirk said, he mocked George Floyd, bro. George Floyd had a fucking family who went through hell. Because, yeah, they had a lot of support, and eventually the government was on their side, but they were literally killed by a government... by agents of the US government. The date wasn't a coincidence, as false flags and martyrs go as pretext to accelerate fascism. Salvador Allende, never forget. Well, was he deposed on the 10th? But yeah. 90% are leftists. Stats are completely ass backwards. I mean, has he said that yet? I know he says it. Sorry, I've been focusing on chat as well.
But I would say that he's more of the moderate to, kind of extreme right wing. Very, very, I would say, lukewarm, though, in my opinion. At least especially, and this is where we're going.
Like, this was someone who mocked... violence against Paul Pelosi, who was like claiming that probably, I mean, I don't know 100% if he was claimed that he was a gay pedophile or whatever they were claiming about Paul Pelosi. He was someone who advocated for bailing out the attackers of Paul Pelosi, like all of these things. Oh yeah, of course, I forgot that it was on 9/11. I remember the documentary I watched, whose name, John Pilger, is that his name? Pilger, or whatever it was. But yeah, I mean, listening to Asmongold talk about like this and just sanitize the reputation and who Charlie Kirk is crazy work. It's crazy work. Whether you agree with him being, whether you think that this is like the world's greatest tragedy or not, like still sanitizing his reputation and choosing to say, oh, actually, he was great, is ridiculous.
Especially compared to now. And what I think is going to happen now, because obviously these shootings...
But I suppose that's also like an indication of like how far someone like Charlie Kirk has helped to move the political spectrum, where you consider someone like Charlie Kirk a moderate.
Like this don't really happen inside of a vacuum. And they never do, they never have. And I think that the situation that we have right now is that there is a tremendous amount of political violence that is advocated for, promoted, and allowed to exist on social media that has turned up the temperature in all political...
By the way, for someone who actually lives in the UK, like someone who... Nigel Farage today has been on a camp... Nigel Farage is someone who's like eulogizing Charlie Kirk. Nigel Farage is saying like how much he loves Charlie Kirk and how great Charlie Kirk was, how he gave a tribute to Charlie Kirk in the House of Commons.
Nigel Farage.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. My mind is filled with the horrendous images yesterday of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, an American, a conservative, a Christian, a family man, gunned down. He'd attracted the following of many millions of young Americans, and indeed had a growing online presence in our country, especially after he spoke at the Oxford Union last month. I absolutely believe in free speech, but we all understand there are limits to free speech. Incitement, constant personal vilification, the use of horrendous historical images.
Bro, horrendous historical images. What is he talking about? Like, this is someone whose party are relying on the same tropes used against Jewish people, calling Muslims invaders. They used to call Jews that. They used to say Jews were aliens who wouldn't integrate into British society. It led to violence against Jewish people. Jewish people were subjected to violence for centuries, millennia, because of the fact that they were seen as different to normal good Christians. And now his party advocates for remigration. And like, it doesn't end there. He is moving the political spectrum towards more and more radical things. And
this is not a left-right issue. It's not a left-right debate. I think it's incumbent upon all of us, whichever side of the divide we're on, however passionately we feel, to behave with personal responsibility. And I mourn the loss of my friend.
I thank the Honourable...
I mourn the loss of my friend, and we need to tone things down. Lucy Connolly, if you don't know who she is, she called for the burning down of asylum seeker hotels. She called for that to happen. She said that she wanted for to be burned with the asylum seekers inside of them. She was brought out after coming out of prison for that. By the way, whilst people were outside terrorizing asylum seekers, she was outside of it. People were outside of it, and she was tweeting this fucking shit. And she was welcomed to the Reform Conference, Nigel Farage's party, recently. I'm sorry, he's like, oh, it's a thing on both sides. Bro, it's you. It is you who is creating this situation. And sorry, I respond to the Foster Freeze and Kirk together at last. Who the fuck is Foster Freeze? It's almost like Wuthering Heights. As a far-right chiller in said, the same thing as Farage, verbatim, at a debate last night, coordinated. Oh, it's 100% coordinated. Trump is awarding, I saw he's awarding the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Conversations, all social conversations, and all discourse on the internet in general to a point where it's almost unrecoverable. You have people that are out there all the time.
It's also, but in part probably, because the violence is so pronounced, so unequivocally supported by Western governments at this point, where we all see the extremity of the Western order and the things it does, that people are pushed towards extremist positions. Like, people look at what our governments do with abject misery and think that there is no other option but to take on violent actions.
I'm advocating for violence, advocating for people to get killed. Somebody needs to take care of this guy. Somebody needs to deal with this. I wish he were dead. Won't somebody do it? The 8647, all of the crypto messaging and all the doxing, right? Why do you dox somebody? Why do you post the person's home address? It's to make other people that are insane, like the person who killed Charlie Kirk, it's to give them the ammunition they need to kill that person.
We spoke about the images of the shooters already. I don't know if you didn't see it. I've already showed the images of the shooter. Potential shooter or person of interest, we don't know.
And to put that person's life in danger.
What even is the 86? Doesn't it mean, like, impeach the... Wasn't it someone who put... Comey put, over 1,000 watching and 9 likes on the stream. Bro, it doesn't have 9 likes, Nola. It's got 300. But yes, people have to pay their dues. 86 is commonly used to an industry term to remove or eject. So posting 8647 about removing Donald Trump is apparently what's led to this, rather than just guns being so incredibly prevalent in American society, and that this is actually the responsibility of the internet. And Charlie Kirk was just a moderate, someone who regularly advocated for more gun violence, someone who said that gun deaths were just an unfortunate consequence of having guns.
That's why they're doing it. And so that's the reason why they want to find out the identities of ICE agents. That's the reason why they want to
find out the Bro, those are people meting out extreme violence against marginalized and weak people in society. Foster Fies was Charlie Kirk's sugar daddy. Oh, mad.
Find out the identities of Tesla owners, like at the beginning of the year. It's so they can destroy their car and destroy their lives. And this isn't necessarily...
Bro, I don't think people were protesting against the Teslas, but I don't think people were going specifically after people who own Teslas. I don't know about that.
A one-sided thing. I think that in the last 5 years or so, especially since BLM, it's been a like 90% left-wing thing.
A 90% left-wing thing. Bro. January 6th was after BLM? The right-wing and the fascistic forces in this world have killed tens of thousands in Palestine and are exterminating people all over the world.
But that doesn't mean that the 10% right-wing people are right either. But I do think that now you're going to see a lot more right-wing people balancing out those scales. The fact is...
Bro, they've already been doing it. They've already been doing it. I mean, as well, around the world, most of the worst massacres in recent history all over the world have been carried out by people like Anders Behring Breivik, a neo-Nazi who believed that Muslims were evil. Brennan Tarrant, who killed 50 people. What is his name? Christchurch shooting. Why can't I find his name? Brenton Tarrant. That's it. Brenton Tarrant. Killed 51 people were killed and 89 people were injured. People performing prayers. And this person sits here and tells you, actually, yeah, it's all a Muslim thing. Oh, sorry, it's all a left-wing thing.
Is that you can take a knife to a gunfight all you want, and you can think that you're honorable, but you're going to end up being dead. And I think that's what right-wing people have done for a very long time. They've tried to speak above the political violence.
People who advocate for violence against minorities, stop the political violence now. 100%. He said he wanted, like, unlimited genocide on the Palestinian people.
They've tried to advocate above it and not try to stoop down to that level. But the issue is that...
Yeah, from the heydays of groups like the Rote Army Faction and the Red Army Faction, who were like a Marxist-Leninist group assassinating and kidnapping German politicians. Left-wing political violence is certainly not its main point. And most people who are right-wingers can just go and inflict the political violence that they want to do in the army and the military. I mean, look at that fucking Islamophobic biker gang harming and abusing people in Palestine right now.
A lot of these social media companies have expressed literally zero desire to even do the bare minimum of moderation. I think that two of the worst actors are Twitter or X and Reddit. Both of these...
Twitter is owned by an extremist right-winger who has used his platform to spread and move out the same kind of narratives that have led to extermination of so many people.
Platforms are full of a bunch of extremist nut jobs that not only should have their accounts banned, but they should probably be put in mental institutions. And I think that...
Bro said unlimited genocide on the Palestinian people and thinks that it's other people who should be going to mental asylums.
Now, I find it to be kind of interesting taking a step back for a week or so and seeing how many people are coming around to the inevitable reality that this is the only path forward. There are so many people in society now that are just completely unhinged, under-medicated, and really just completely insane that... You can't have a person like that running wild out in society. They cause problems for...
I mean, Chris, can we address the your party debate around the use of the term anti-Zionist? I mean, I'd like to do that. I mean, I'm not actually that well informed about it. Ethan and Asman aren't what I'm talking about. I mean, maybe not Ethan, but at the same time, there's still stuff to do with this, and I feel like this is huge political news right now.
Themselves, not to mention everybody else around.
But I have another stream tomorrow, and there's a lot of stuff I want to cover, so I'll see what I get up to. And also, by the way, this video has 3 million views. This is one of the biggest political streamers in the entire world.
Them. And I think that the society, we need to have an honest conversation about how to deal with these people in a way that, and I'll be real, I don't really care about the people that are crazy. Their well-being and the way that, you know, things are for them. Of course, obviously, I wouldn't want it to be bad, but it's certainly not...
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'll pin the link. There you go. Donate if you can. Oh no, I've accidentally pinned... fuck. Sorry, Catplan, your tweet was pinned.
Not important. What's really important is all the people who aren't crazy, making sure that people that are not crazy, that are good actors, that are law-abiding citizens, are able to live a life of peace, a life of prosperity, and a life without fear of going on the subway, for example, as at the recent event as well.
Bro just wants fascism. Like, bro just wants fascism. Bro just wants unlimited violence and genocide from the state against people he deems to be inferior and mentally ill.
And I think that every single person in the world deserves to live in a place like that. And I don't want to see, America turn into a PvP server. And it sure seems like it is. And I think that in order to prevent that from happening, we need to have honest conversations about what do you do with people that, get arrested 14 times. And it's not even a question, right? You put them in jail and you throw away the key and you compel them to work, and that way you can make the money back from
indentured servitude. Indentured servitude. Never consider why someone might be there. Try and reform it and try and create a better society. No, just indentured servitude.
Imprisoning them forever. That's the way that you solve that problem. It's very simple, actually.
Unlimited prison forever. Right, should we just bring back random and arbitrary executions and how the prison system used to work?
But for some reason, the way that makes people feel has made them unwilling to look at this obvious truth. If you look in history, this is what we've always done in history, and it's because it works. And the problem...
It works! What works? What works about this? None of it has worked none of this has ever worked.
Is that now
he's just bro, this guy is crazy. And I know someone said, oh, this doesn't matter. This is an account is getting 3 million views on a video that is saying, advocating for slavery and talking about how it's actually left-wingers who've caused all of the violence.
We have so much of the discourse that's dominated by emotional thinking, that's dominated by the most unstable, the most virtue signal, the most, ridiculous, performative empathy possible, and that's defined.
But you want everyone to have empathy for Charlie Kirk.
A huge political voice in the country, this has become a tremendous detriment to everyone. And I think that with people like the shooter that probably shot Charlie Kirk, with that guy in the subway that stabbed that Ukrainian woman, or with that trans shooter that shot up the school,
that person who, if you actually watched and looked at the videos, that person was insanely racist and is much more an indication of, hey, there are some really heinous things going on online, and a lot of young kids who are just being given unlimited internet access to do whatever they want are getting involved in some pretty fucking dangerous things. Because that person, yes, he had anti-Semitic shit scrawled over his gun, or I don't know what their preferred pronouns were, but anyway, they had, also he spoke about, I think he says the N-word in it, he's a fan of other mass shooters had their names engraved in it, but you've also seen mass killings in America from people who, like Elliot Rodger, who believed that women were should all have sex with him, and that women were degrading society, and that he hated feminism and all these things.
One thing that's common among all of them is that these people, in almost all cases, were verifiably nuts beforehand, and nothing ever was done about it. And until we can stomach the idea of solving problems like that before they happen, we're going to keep having problems.
You cannot solve crime before it happens with just extreme and unusual punishments. It didn't work previously, and it doesn't work right now.
And I think that with Charlie Kirk, it's very obvious that the amount of, political violence and advocating for political violence that's happening on the internet has turned up the temperature and created an environment and a culture where this type of behavior is normal. And not only...
So was Charlie Kirk mocking Paul Pelosi not something that moved towards that?
Not only is it normal, but it's actually encouraged. And the problem is that now people are acting on it. And you're starting to see this happen, and I think it's going to continue getting worse.
You're starting to see this happen! Bro. In 2019, as I said, a man shot 51 people at a mosque. Muslims praying.
I don't think Charlie Kirk is going to be the last one, but I think that we will look at Charlie Kirk's death and see it as a turning point in this topic. And what I'm really trying to get at here with this entire point is that right now we are at a extremely pivotal moment. And I think that what's going to end up happening is that right-wing people are not going to continue to turn the other cheek. They're not going to continue to turn the other cheek. They're going to ramp up their violence even more. The state already metes out so much right-wing violence against minorities. Even if that violence is not the spectacular kind of just straight up murdering them in the street, the amount of targeting and violence against racialized and other minorities in American society is unbelievable. Going to continue to just, oh, well, you know, this is just a crazy left-wing radical. I think you're probably going to see right-wing people doing the same thing to left-wing people.
Anders Behring Breivik was a neo-Nazi who literally targeted, wasn't it like a youth left-wing event? What was it at? The Workers' Youth League, which is just like Norway's largest political youth organisation affiliated with the Norwegian Labour Party. Bro, what the fuck? Charlie Kirk, I advocated for violence against people like Paul Pelosi. You're not like, oh, turn it down when it comes to him.
And honestly, while I don't think this is a good thing, I certainly don't really feel that sorry for them. Because a lot of left-wing people have no problem advocating for violence, or at least using code.
You advocated for unlimited genocide against Palestinians. This guy did that.
Language in order to advocate for violence. The fact is that there's a certain level of intellectual dishonesty that goes on in situations like this where it's considered, oh, well, you know, this isn't actually what they meant, and no, this is actually some other... No, it is. It's exactly what they mean. They're trying to advocate for killing people that...
So what do all of the right-wingers mean when they're talking about civil war constantly? Isn't this like the whole shtick of people like Steven Crowder?
That they disagree with. That's what's happening, and there's no talking around it. And to the extent that you try to, you're insulting the intelligence of anyone that you're speaking to. And I think that now you're going to start seeing a lot of right-wing people end up doing this to left-wing people now even more, because it's very clear that these social media platforms are not going to moderate this behavior. The FBI, for whatever reason, just refuses to deal with or have any degree of
100%. He's not willing to listen or like actually think that gun control would be one of the things that would help get rid of this, because he doesn't care. He thinks people who think like him should have guns to do whatever they want. Sorry, I just want to turn that back.
End up doing this to left-wing people now even more, because it's very clear that these social media platforms are not going to moderate this behavior. The FBI...
Bro, Twitter has turned into literally a pro-Nazi haven. You can look at the increase of the use of the N-word on Twitter as soon as Elon Musk took over.
For whatever reason, just refuses to deal with or have any degree of accountability for dealing with these obvious terrorists that are in the country. And because of that, I think you're going to start seeing an uptick of violence from right-wing people as well. And this is going to be, in my opinion, I don't really think the word is justified, because it's not justified, but the word is expected. I think it's going to be...
It's also really funny that his whole shtick was no one should be allowed to use coded language to advocate for violence and explain it, and then he just does that. He's like, yeah, I think it's to be expected. This guy doesn't have one thought going on in his head.
Expected. The fact is that...
Why does anyone listen to this guy? Because he gives you simple solutions, where there are just bad people in your society who are doing all of these excessive things, who are engaged in extremist things that good people like him aren't, and so they should just punish these people and everything will be fine. Like, that is literally it. He thinks, like, those people do extremist things, and they transcend the laws, and so the laws of what is moral and acceptable, and so he will gain so much enjoyment from those people being punished, because he and his friends get to engage with something that he can't avow publicly, of being like, yeah, I like it when I see left-wingers getting killed.
You know, again.
And all of a sudden he has a way to engage with it and say it, and support it, basically. Also, liberals and anarcho-liberals online are ignoring the Nepal was led by a socialist coalition and the protest might have been astroturfed. The Communist Party in Nepal was not... It was communist in name only. Like, it was not really communist.
And you bring a knife to a gunfight, you're gonna lose. And don't be surprised.
Oh, you mean ignoring that the protesters were socialist? Sorry, I see what you mean.
When you keep bringing guns to gunfights and then somebody else decides to start shooting back. I think that's what's going to happen.
Actually, wait, no. So you mean, the thing is that they were communists in name only. They were not communists.
And I think this is a degradation of society as a whole. And ultimately, the real burden of responsibility...
Someone being shot at a political rally is definitely a degradation of society, but Asmongold Gold being the largest political streamer is a bigger degradation of society.
Here doesn't really fall on influencers, and I don't think that it falls even on the commenters themselves. I think it falls primarily on the government. The fact is that the government, there are already laws that permit, explicit calls to violence. There's already laws that permit the types of stalking and doxing that people engage in online. And one of the big things that is a misconception is that
Bro just wants fascism and authoritarianism. Bro is calling so hard for authoritarianism. That's all he wants. Everything being monitored by the government.
People like me want new laws. We want any form of extra censorship at all. I certainly don't want that, and I don't know anybody else that does either. But what we do want is we want the existing laws to be applied and to be enforced in an accurate and a fair way, which is clearly not what's happening. And really the government not doing that and giving this asymmetrical, in my opinion, advantage to left-wing people to fully and with complete freedom practice genuine terrorism on a daily basis, and then, congratulate each other about how moral and how good they are for doing it because of something bad that happened in Palestine or something bad that Donald Trump did 3 years ago.
What the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, what is this guy actually talking about? They congratulate themselves because something bad is happening in Palestine. What? So much extreme violence. So much extreme violence being meted out in Palestine, and you expect people to not have a reaction to that. The government is going easy on leftists. So 100% it's the same shit as the UK. They're like, oh, leftists are treated so unfairly. Where it's like, yeah, bro, if you oppose something which under international law should just categorically be opposed, you're a monster and a terrorist.
This is just simply a response. This is what's going to happen. And so, and I think that that's probably what it's going to take for these left-wing people to realize what a bad idea what they've been doing is. Because until it starts happening to them, until they start having people that are their friends or, their, like icons that they look up to, the same way people looked up to Charlie Kirk, until they start seeing those people get killed, I don't think...
Bro, what do you think is going on in Palestine? How many people in Palestine do you think that people looked up to and have just seen be killed by the American government because they were with the collaboration of the American government?
I think it's really going to be real for them. And unfortunately, I think that's the path that we're headed down because of the government and social media companies and every other seemingly governmental apparatus that has just completely hand-waved this problem and ignored it entirely.
So what, do you just want Trump to go full ultra-fascism? Like, is this what... Well, I mean, that's obviously what he wants. This is probably one of the craziest videos that you will see. Just a guy advocating for fascism and authoritarianism.
So, the death of Charlie Kirk and the assassination of him should not come as a surprise to anyone. This should be something that everybody could have expected. All you had to do is read Twitter for an hour and you could have told me this would have happened, of course. Same with Reddit. And until that core problem is addressed, you will continue to see a rapid decline in any type of social discourse. And I'm actually kind of afraid to see what's going to happen next, because I think it's just going to continue getting worse, and I don't see the reason for it to stop. And so anyway, I wanted to make this video because it's obviously...
I wanted to make this video to let the Trump administration know that they should be more extreme.
...topic that, you know, I've been talking about this a lot for the past few years now, and I was laughed at a lot, and people were telling me it wasn't that big of a deal, and oh, they were joking. Well, I saw the video. That wasn't a joke. And the reality is that...
But, like, he literally just hand-waved away things that are happening in Palestine as just nothing. Also, please don't use the R word. I'm not a fan of it, so I'll just remove that. But yeah, just don't use it in chat.
Jokes and everything create a culture and an environment where the actual actions are more permissible. And you also have people that are the ones telling me...
So what are all the jokes about George Floyd to black people? What are all of those jokes about George Floyd to black people? That actually killing a black person is justified because they're criminals, because they're drug addicts, so you should just be able to kill them. And people joking about him all the time. What did that lead to?
Quote jokes that are talking around just, you know, directly, you know, saying that this is a bad thing and it shouldn't be tolerated for any reason. You have, I don't want to go through a bunch of different names, but anybody, this is the way I look at it, I'm just going to make a categorical judgment here, is that any content creator or anybody like this who has been advocating for violence against a person in an extrajudicial way. I'm not talking about trying people who they disagree with for treason. This is advocating for the judicial process to be used against people they disagree with. I think that's fine. But whenever you have people that are saying things like 8647, or anybody who's advocating for any form of extrajudicial justice, extrajudicial justice, and basically vigilante justice on people who they disagree with politically, you have to realize that all of those people, I think, have made themselves acceptable targets. And I think that...
You stupid prick, Hasselman Gold.
That crowd your car. If people are trying to actively obstruct you from driving on a public road, and they're doing it because they think they can, like, get together and, like, bully you into not driving, I think you should totally be justified to run them over.
There you go, you stupid piece of shit, Asmongold. You are justifying extrajudicial killings of people protesting. You justified it. Are you going to prison, Asmongold? Or do you just want a fascistic, authoritarian government that cracks down on anyone who you disagree with?
Cars are for, roads are for cars, not for people. And I don't know why why is it that in a polite society we should be expected to put up with violent people that try to obstruct our movement and shut down roads?
But you just disagree with them, Asmund, and you just want to kill them.
For whatever reasons they seem are necessary. Why should we do that? Why should we live in a world where that's acceptable? I don't think we should. What if there are bystanders? You kill them in the process? How could you kill a bystander in the process if you're, I don't even understand this. How would you be able to kill a bystander in the process if you're driving in the road? Why?
Jesus Christ.
There's a lot and millions of people out.
But, like, genuinely, this guy just believes in killing anyone. Just killing anyone who gets in his way, and there being a more authoritarian, government. He has videos on... He has a video on his channel called When Cars Don't Stop for Protesters, which I assume is just him, which I'm not going to watch, but it just is him gleefully reacting to people getting hit by cars because they had different opinions to him. Extrajudicial violence against them. Guys, please no edgy humor unless it's against the works. Yeah, unlimited authoritarianism if you do, I think I spoke about this, Auntie, what you're talking about previously.
Out there nowadays that see that. And I think that should be extremely worrying for them. It should be terrifying. But the reality is that they have created that environment themselves through their own actions.
You're one of the biggest streamers in the world who advocated for just killing people.
Through their behavior and through their own words. You reap what you sow. And I think that things are about to get a whole lot worse. So anyway, guys, I wanted to make this video and talk about it. And
okay, that's enough of Asmongold.
That's about all I've got to say. So I hope to be back soon.
Right, guys, I really have to go pee, and then I'll be back very shortly. So I'll put on some music for you all. Bro, I am desperate for a pee. I'm desperate for a pee. And it's not loading. Of course it's not fucking loading. Ugh. Can we load? Oh shit, I need to close Steam. Can we load, please? Ah, oh, motherfucker, I need to pee so bad. There we go.
أقسم بثورتنا التي قدستها وسهرت في نيرانها سجاني. أقسم بثورتنا التي كللتها بعزيمة وبمدفع وأماني. أفديك ما فوق الفداء بثورة تلقى الثريا عندها بركاني. ثورة فلسطيني ثورتنا فلسطيني جبهتنا وطني جبهتنا وطني أرض فلسطيني أرض فلسطيني ضد القوى الرجعي ضد القوى الرجعي ثورة فلسطيني ثورتنا فلسطيني جبهتنا وطني جبهتنا وطني أرض فلسطيني أرض فلسطيني ضد القوى ثورتنا كانت دايما ابدا شعلة النار ابدا ما بتطفي اسألوا عنا في تل الزعتر اسألوا عنا في سور وصيدا ثورتنا كانت دايما ابدا شعلة النار.
Right, I've returned. Sorry. God, it's crazy how much viewers go down when you're not here. If I admit he used to stop reading News UBC because he was grinding his teeth so much, yeah, I think I've heard that. Right, let's see what people are saying. Remember to be careful what you say online if you're organising 100%. You should all be very careful. You should all be very careful about what you say online, especially if you live in America. It's an increasingly fascistic country. But yeah, again, we'll just go through this because some of you wanted to see it. This is, again, the person of interest. The person of interest in the shooting, allegedly. That's Riyad Awad, Palestinian Revolution. Thawra Falastini. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that I wanted to cover. There is something that I wanted to cover, but... But I saw that, like, as well, just to finish this stuff on Charlie fucking Kirk. Charlie Kirk has taken up a big chunk of the stream today, but it's not really surprising. This is what Ezra Klein had to say. You can dislike much of what Kirk believed, and the following statement is still true. Kirk was practicing politics in exactly the right way. He was showing up to campuses and talking with anyone who would talk to him. He was one of this era's most effective practitioners of persuasion. It's just really weird to eulogize him in this way. I've literally spoken before and someone said Turning Point was specifically promoted by YouTube. But this is the kind of stuff that is promoted. Like, it's promoted by YouTube. I don't know that practicing politics in the right way is backing up someone who is a fascist. The reason that I use that song is because the song is not copyrighted. So a lot of Arabic music will be copyrighted. Actually, this probably isn't. Get Out Bashar, but I won't use that because I don't need a P, so... When the left thought its hold on hearts and minds of young college students was nearly absolute, Kirk showed up again and again to break it. Slowly then, all at once, he did. College-age voters shifted sharply right in the 2024 election. Kirk promoted false and disproven claims of election fraud. Kirk was considered a big name social influencer in Rudy Giuliani's communications plan to overturn the 2020 elections. On January 5th, the day before the Washington, D.C. protest that led to the 6th, Kirk wrote on Twitter that Turning Point Action and Students for Trump were sending more than 80 buses of patriots to DC to fight for the president. A spokesman for Turning Point said that the groups ended up sending 7 buses, not 80, with 350 students. In the lead up to storming, Kirk said he was getting 500 emails a minute calling for civil war. I also just want to say, like, on this topic of what Asmongold is saying, Charlie Kirk's fandom and the people around him clearly wanted civil war. They clearly wanted these kind of things and extrajudicial violence to be meted out against leftists and people he hated. And so, like, in many ways, sitting there and acting as if Charlie Kirk is like someone who never did any of this kind of stuff is ridiculous. Is ridiculous. And here's what the Surfs noted, what Lorma... I don't ever want to hear Charlie Kirk claim he is pro-Trump ever again after this weekend. I'd say he has revealed himself as political opportunist, and I have had a front row seat to witness the mental gymnastics these last 10 years. Lately, Charlie has decided to behave like a charlatan, claiming to be pro-Trump one day while he stabs Trump in the back the next. TPUSA was only able to thrive thanks to the generosity of President Trump. I don't know, bro. Should organizations that even high-level Trumpians are admitting are involved with the Trump administration be considered like great influences on young people? I feel like there's something more to be said about that. That was not all Kirk's doing, but he was highly central in laying the groundwork for it. I did not know Kirk, and I am not the right person to eulogize him, but I envied what he built. A taste for disagreement is a virtue in democracy. Bro, I do not envy, and I think it is very weird to say that you envy this kind of thing. That you envy someone building a platform that pushes young men into extremist politics. Bro, I don't know. Oh, Jesus, politics. Unbelievable statement. What did he do for her to say that? I didn't envy what he built. Liberalism. I am repulsed by what Charlie Kirk built and what people like Charlie Kirk believe and do and say. I really don't like that kind of stuff. I think it's horrifying. I think it's really horrifying. Liberalism could use more of his moxie and fearlessness. In the inaugural episode of his podcast, Governor Gavin Newsom of California hosted Kirk, admitting that his son was a huge fan. What a testament to Kirk's project, that it is indoctrinating young children. Bro, I'm not sure that is a good thing to be thinking about and saying. In the plot, so this is also, in the last few years, we've seen the plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, the storming of the Capitol and pipe bombs left at the RNC and DNC, the break-in to kidnap Paul Pelosi, and the brutal attack on Paul Pelosi. Multiple assassination attempts against Trump, the assassination of Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, and the shooting of State Senator John Hoffman and his wife, Luigi Mangione's assassination of Brian Thompson, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Political violence is contagious, it is spreading, it is not confined to one side or belief system. It should terrify us all. The foundation of a free society is the ability to participate in it without the fear of violence. I am sorry. What about all of the people? What about all of the people who are fearful of participating in democracy because they want to talk about Palestine and they are worried about the reprisals. Do you not see that the violence and all of these things come from people like Trump turning up the political environment and pushing us further right and continually using violence? The foundation of a free society, political violence is always an act against us all. You would have to be so blind not to see that. Bro, these were kind of... I have to remind you that fascists were allowed onto university campuses, Zionist extremists, many of them who served in the Israeli military, to go and attack people who were peacefully protesting. And these people are telling you, look at all this stuff that's happening. You didn't care when that was happening. Palestinian students shot in Vermont say the suspected target waited for them. Illinois landlord, and he murdered a child. And this kind of stuff is going on because of extremism against Palestinians. The kind that Asmongold is also spreading. Right, let's do some Ethan Klein related stuff because he had a field day yesterday. He was very incensed by Hassan having a higher view count than him.
I'm excited. Like, I really am.
Hey, look. Look who's fucking profiting and benefiting from political violence. 187,000 live viewers for Hassanabi. Fucking awesome, bro. That's so cool.
Well, I mean, he was probably live before, though.
Thank you.
No, I don't think he went live, but he's reaping.
Hassan considers himself a news channel. Like, why do people act like that's surprising? Hassan is doing news, and he wasn't sat there just, like, condemning Charlie Kirk, was he?
Fucking, the rewards, you know? So, yeah, for Hassan, this is,
I miss the old Kim K, the glory hole Kim K, down on her knees Kim K, all about them D's Kim K, I hate the new Kim K, the most produced Kim K, the always nude Kim K, cry on the news Kim K, the Fallout Boy Kim K, stepmama boy Kim K. Gotta say at the time I'd like to meet Kim K. See, we invented Kim K. It wasn't any Kim K's, and now I look around and there's so many Kim K's. I used to love Kim K. I used to love
days,
Kim K.
son.
And now...
No, stop
Kim
it.
K doesn't love Kim K.
You know what disturbs me? Is that people flock to Hassan's stream to get his take on the political violence perpetrated on the right. Like, I wonder what... Dude, I don't know. The whole thing is fucking disgusting.
Charlie Kirk is... Hassan is someone who has debated Charlie Kirk multiple times. Are you really surprised that people went over to see him? What he had to say about it?
I'm not trying to point fingers or put blame on anyone specifically, because we don't know what happened. I don't want to put that on anybody. I can talk about the culture that's going on, though, in general, which is that it's become commonplace to call for fucking political violence on Twitch, and acceptable. So, anyway, here's the... Sorry, AB. Here's the thing.
Oh... They seemed to have a very big live stream yesterday. I don't know. Oh god.
Okay.
Where's
God, AB's statement is like 40 minutes. I don't know if I can watch all of that. I don't know if I'm subjecting... Oh, we've already watched some Asmongold, so... How does Ethan make himself sound stupider than Asmongold? It's not hard. Imagine Hassan just plays him being gross towards the Boston bombing victim like that. Yeah, I mean... It's not political violence when Ethan Klein does Hasbara all day. No. It's not political violence when his wife invades Ramallah in the West Bank and subjects Palestinians to violence there.
Uh-oh. Sorry, Zach, catch you strays. How dare you take the crown from this man? I think you owe him an apology.
Wow, Zach catch you strays.
Looks nothing like you.
By the way, this is a picture of Drake, and this is one. You want to see?
Is that blackface?
I'll show you. I'll explain. I just understood what I was looking at. These are all the most deranged, snark-brained losers.
Yeah.
Ian was recently streaming, and on his sidebar was H3 Snark. They literally spend all day there, right? And so this person, Throst, has a picture of me and with blackface.
That's a crazy statement, bro. This guy has a picture of me in blackface. Like, saying it annoyed. It's like, yeah, bro, that's pretty fucking shameful that there are images of you doing that as, like, a 20-plus-year-old man.
Over that famous picture of Drake in blackface. And again, this is one of the constant refrains that they go, oh, he did blackface. It was a fucking, it's still up, totally on.
It was a video, I did some videos together with Ethan on the Ethan and Hila channel a while ago.
Here's the thumbnail.
And I had like this series where I would buy a bunch of products of one color. So there was like the gold challenge, and we did all kinds of gold products.
Yeah.
And then there was the black challenge. This is a mask.
You
It's
did
a
the
face
white mask,
mask
I think.
and teeth whitening. Like, and we were just going through a bunch of products that were black.
Oh, okay. You see the thumbnail? I'm showing my black teeth.
Yeah.
But anyway, just to give you an idea of what they're saying is racist. Is a 3.2 million view, 100,000 likes.
Nice.
Like, nobody thought this was racist. Everybody knew at the time it wasn't racist. We all know it wasn't racist. Welcome back to another very special episode of Ethan and Hila. Hila's been scheming on a new project. We have black water.
Black
we have
water,
water product called Black Project. Anyway.
I'm sensing a theme.
Anyway, you get the idea.
Right.
So we start putting on beauty products and all this
How was
type
the black
of stuff.
water?
It tasted like
Tasted like
dirt.
normal.
I
Oh,
think.
did it?
The black water? No. One of them tasted like dirt.
I'll
I
tell you
remember.
what, you don't see Black Market on the shelves these days. That was a short phenomenon.
Everyone just thought it was okay. It's just a dog whistle. For the guy who thought that someone having a bleach sword was a Nazi dog whistle.
Yeah.
Nothing water? Because I mean, just like visually, it's very unappealing.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big part of taste, you know. You eat with your eyes, Dan. That's what they say.
I would
fresh.
I would expect it to taste like cola.
Right.
I feel like
And
my
it
brain
doesn't.
would be like weirded out.
It was
Yeah.
relatively just tasted like water.
Mhm.
And it has a 70+ alkaline trace mineral level. If anything, we look like fucking occultists. We look like we're getting ready to sacrifice a goat or something.
I'm getting insane clown posse kind of vibes too.
I look like MF Doom in this one.
Shout out.
What? This is black food coloring.
Oh, and we put it on your mom too. I forgot.
Yeah, we did it on my mom. This video is great. And then I tell her that it doesn't come out, and she starts freaking out.
Can you not? You think that maybe he would just think like, yeah, I can see why people might think that this looked a bit like you were doing blackface.
Food coloring in your mouth that has an interesting flavor.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Especially when this was coupled with just regularly saying the N-word and all these other things.
So let's see, how does it go? Oh yeah, black food coloring. I mean, this is a
It's
banger.
just silly stuff.
Yeah, it's pure silliness. This is a banger video. Yo, these
And it was my project. How dare they? Come on.
these videos were fun. Look at my mouth.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Everybody,
It's like a black.
I hope you enjoyed our episode of Black.
Oh, guys,
It is. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
But anyway, this is what people are saying. Right? So I mean, like,
What did you think?
just
What
to
happened?
give you an idea of the good faith criticism. Like, if you look into pretty much every single attack line, it all is something like this.
Yeah.
You know, it's all something like this. So anyway, moving on. I always forget this guy exists. It's like my brain won't allow me to know he's real.
Huh. Sick burn, bro.
What?
Wow.
Zach's gonna remember you exist on that soundboard.
Yeah, I'm gonna torment the soundbite's already flowing, man. But Anissa, I think you're a Jew-hating bitch. So,
Bro, this guy is deranged. This guy is deranged. I wanna see if I can get the full thing of him calling her that, because there's more to the clip. Oh, fuck, why can't I find this? Oh, fuck. Just a crazy thing to say overall, just to call someone a bitch like that, just with such vitriol and hatred. But, you know, H3H3 podcast is this nice, very kind platform.
My Instagram requests.
I just want to see if I can find it. Why can't I find this?
Seen videos about how.
Ah, what?
Sounds so.
Ethan. I hear my own voice on there.
Literally.
The
shit.
Fuck. I can't find it. that sucks. Actually, I'll check disinformation tracker. That might be a way to do it.
Is obvious.
Just want to see if I can find it. I can't find it. Oh well. We'll just watch some other things.
Is obvious. Is that what you mean is obvious? Is that your family's the most important thing to you?
Yes.
Then like some internet fucking activism.
No, I'm so happy you did. Thank you.
Yeah, because some privileged kids online think that you should quit your job because you work for Zionists. Easy for them to say.
Not a Zionist, by the way.
Oh God, he was trying to launder his reputation on fucking TikTok as well. Very annoying guy, Ethan Klein is.
Yeah.
No, what you mean?
This was also a crazy statement, but there's the full statement here.
Fuck. The right to, because she had the.
Here you go.
I want to share publicly, but I'll share with everyone right now. I pay for my grandma's fucking facility. I help out with my grandma's facility. My parents got a divorce. I'm helping with my grandmother because she raised me. My sister, everyone here, half of you don't even know I have a sister because I never talk about her because she's also in an in-treatment fucking facility because she struggles with her own medical problems that I help out with. I share that with nobody but Anissa. She does not give a fuck. She does not care, even though her father struggles with this stuff. She does not care. I have to leave my job. She's drawn her fucking line in the sand because she has the right to tell me how I provide for me and my fucking family. Let me be clear. I don't care Israel, Palestine. I don't give a fuck. Fuck the world compared.
That is a crazy statement. Fuck the world compared to my family. I don't know, bro. I feel like that's a very unusual thing to say.
To my family. Let me be very fucking clear. I do not give a fuck. Let me be very fucking clear. Is that much of a backbone for you fucking snark idiots? And
just to be clear, you do care very much about
I
Palestinians.
care,
but you're I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you.
I want to prevent clickbait.
No, thank you. Thank you.
What you mean is obvious. Is that your family's the most important thing to you?
Yes.
Then like some internet fucking activism.
No, I'm so happy you did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Some internet activism.
Yeah, because some privileged kids online think that you should quit your job because you work for Zionists.
I think it's just appearing on a podcast that is solely operates around laundering the reputation of Israel and trying to deplatform people. In fact, it doesn't solely operate around it, but it seeks to just deplatform people who speak out against the state of Israel, who talk negatively about it. You know, he that's what he wants from his platform. That's what Ethan uses it for. I actually messaged Ethan and I was like, Ethan, I will talk to you. But I don't think he was going to respond to that on TikTok. I sent him a message. Someone sent me a message saying Ethan Klein has a reputation, ? I'm just trying to see if I can find what I was looking for and hoping for. But yeah, AB was saying that clip was misleadingly edited. I mean, AB said that I was all these horrible things that he didn't like, but that he didn't like me. Maybe we should watch some of it. I don't know. No, you don't have a backbone. You just said you don't care about anyone but yourself. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that he says, like, he's got stuff going on with his family. But, I mean, there are other jobs, and, you know, you have enough of a thing that you could just make your own content, no? I mean, it feels pretty difficult if you're trapped in a job you hate, but... Let's have a watch of some of this.
They go and they go and they go, man. And by the way, I'm forced to watch this, so I'm just going to keep going until it's done. Anyone still advertising on Switch should be deeply and permanently ashamed and boycotted.
Switch 1 or 2?
Say what?
He said advertising on Switch.
Oh, Switch. We love the Switch. But okay, here's. And go back a little bit.
It was for him as well, because he was dealing with like a lot of trauma and a lot of issues.
Now this is a clip from his.
Sessions.
Just a clip. This is a clip from his live stream after the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, that happens with a lot of fighters in general, because fighting's a very hard. Like, whether you're fighting MMA, boxing, whatever, it's very hard because you're getting beat up constantly, and then you're supposed to show up to the gym the next day and the next day and the next day. AB can attest to it, right? So it's mentally very hard. So I feel bad for him because I could tell.
Hey, is this what triggered it?
What? Out of pocket. You didn't say anything. In fact, you guys were kind of defending him there. Because he's like, no, I understand.
Between the lines, everything I said in this fucking video, it was defending him to the best of my ability after he made a video calling out my boss. And I felt bad about this. Ignoring everything else, I was putting myself in his shoes, and I was imagining if Wally was to call in, that would really fuck me up. And I felt bad for him, you know, just on that note. But yeah.
I was so out of pocket and so from nowhere. It's like, I'm sorry.
Someone on your podcast called her a Jew-hating bitch, and you all laughed. And you said, oh, no, I think that's a bit far, and I wouldn't use that term. But you said you were going to harass Anissa for the rest of her lives.
What I'm pissed about is I wish I was cleaner, man. That that would have been fucking awesome.
Let me go back. Maybe we can clean it up in AI.
Next day and the next day and the next day. AB can attest to it, right? So it's mentally.
He's like, yep, it's really tough what Ian's been through. And he's so dumb. He is so dumb. He really is simple Ian. And
wait, I'm confused. Didn't AB just agree that boxing training is hard? I agree with that. Boxing training is fucking hard.
Yeah. I like how they've just brought out more and more sycophants. Like, it's literally just a sycophant for the Ethan Klein meetup.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm getting shit from every fucking audience that I'm a coward, I'm a pussy for not sticking up for Ethan and Neela, who gave me everything, because I'm staying neutral.
And by the way, he called you out for your opinion, so like you didn't even have really a choice but to answer gracefully, which you did.
Did I even answer? I just,
And I will repeat now.
Did he answer gracefully when he was speaking to me?
As I've said previously, AB has held himself throughout this entire thing, and Lena too, with dignity and grace. So.
Well, thank you. Well, you have to wait to hear what I'm going to say. Maybe you'll change your mind.
All that grace and dignity is going out the window today.
Whatever. It's very hard because you're getting beat up constantly, and then you're supposed to show up to the gym the next day.
That was the first one.
I love it so much. I'm trying to get a clean one for Zach.
The next day. AB can attest to it, right? So it's mentally very hard. So I
Shut up,
feel bad
AB.
for him because I can tell.
We can clean that up, Zach. I feel like
I pulled it and I was trying to like EQ and shit like that, tried to remove the background, but
give it to me.
That's a fucking shame, man.
Shut up, AB.
Yeah.
Shame.
I'm sure he did some more.
So then to be into something like that.
That's his commentary, by the way. He's just there for 5 hours just saying shit like that. Like his response is literally, "Shut up, you're being a jerk," and it's like, holy fuck, man. He has regressed.
I feel like this is also just a very weird thing to do. That Ethan is so upset that he just calls in to get personal drama off people that know iDubbbz in his personal life. Just feels very weird.
It's almost as if he was almost conditioned to fucking even hate the sight of me. As if he has a fucking snark brain.
He is totally snark brain.
You lose touch with fucking reality.
Yeah, today's not a good day.
But I don't want to get ahead of myself.
I mean, AB, you called me a cunt. For what? You called me a cunt. Like... what did he call me? He said all of these things about me, and I didn't do anything, bro. I've barely even spoken about him.
100% snark brained. And which is ironic because they were talking about how bad bullying is. It's like, really, dude. Remember who started this. Remember why we're here.
Because you're a Zionist.
Right? You fucking started this. You wanted this. You wanted to roll around in the mud with me. What's wrong? You not liking the mud anymore? It's too late to clean off now, bitch.
You're in the mud.
I can call him a bitch. He's a guy. When you plan to spar like that, you want to prep. You don't want to just go into it.
You want to be, like, ask AB, you want to be mentally prepared for a sparring day.
Okay, because it's
yeah, my first sparring day, like, it paused it for a second. It was so fucking bad. Like, this is after he was talking about sparring Alex Ernst. How embarrassed, you guys were laughing at him because he got beat up and he was crying. So what do I say? Do I say, I could have took on Alex? Oh, I never cried. No, I'm saying my first sparring day was so fucking bad. My coach thought I would never come back to the fucking gym. Yeah. You know what that is, Ian? That's me defending you fucking dumbass.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's empathy.
Your empathy bar is super.
Oh no, Ethan called me Chris, and then changed my name a bit. He called me a cum guzzler as an insult.
Filled up. But I don't know that he's smart. I don't think he comprehends it.
He can't see reality. That's fucking snark brain. That's what I'm saying. You literally cannot see reality.
But also, he seems to have lost, like...
I feel like also the lack of seeing reality is much more just still wanting to work with Ethan Klein rather than changing your mind and doing something better about that.
50 IQ points. I'm not even kidding. Like, if you go back, I think he has brain damage.
I mean, I've always said he was super intelligent. I used to study his videos. I studied his video that...
I mean, iDubbbz is many things, but studying his videos, like... He made, like, edgy right-wing comedy that was very funny at the time for a lot of people, but I don't think it's something I'd study, you know?
When I made my video defending you, they got me this job.
Also, Ethan started this when he dogged Ian out on the podcast for being a fake friend about all the CPS stuff. Oh, 100%. AB's response to Anthony from Do Not Worry was so cringe. 100%, yeah.
I was studying his content cops. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I think you, yeah.
I mean, I would hate to be one like trying to diagnose somebody over the internet, but you kind of have to wonder.
It's not a condition he was born with. He's the one that kept stepping into the ring to get fucking pulverized by better opponents. That's a self-inflicted brain trauma.
You want to be mentally prepared for sparring day.
Okay, because it's
yeah. My first sparring day, like it was so fucking bad. Like when I left and I came back, Wally started jumping all around the gym. He's like, I never thought I'd see you again. He goes, okay, the fact that you came back, he's like, now I'm in.
By the way, people wonder why I say fuck AB. Like, this is why. Like, you're being used in this moment to like invalidate my experience.
Not what?
Like,
he's so stupid.
Running a boxing event.
He's the dumbest person alive.
Yeah, let me tell you about who tried to fucking use me. Well, yeah.
Uh-oh. Foreshadowing.
Trained, doing boxing. And it's like, no, I'm the innocent little guy. I just work the machine back here. It's like, no, you're being used to reinforce the fucking harassment.
Oh, the irony.
Holy shit.
Also, again, he did say 100% that he would continually target Anissa over and over again.
The irony might fucking kill me.
He's just like giving a pre-canned response. He clearly didn't listen to what you were saying, or he's just incapable of comprehending basic communication.
He's conditioned, almost. Like I said, it's insane.
It's really, that take was also flabbergasting to me. He goes, "This is why I hate AB." This, when he was talking about how hard the training is to sympathize with you, he goes, "This is why I hate AB." What? And then, oh, sorry, there's more, right?
Yeah, there's just a screenshot right here.
So I watched those two, and then here is Anissa agreeing that AB is the biggest disappointment of all the crew members. This is from the stream. Happen. And you can see, you want to explain it?
Yeah, at the bottom, you see Anissa replying to that comment. She says, yes, we're human.
Calling Ethan paranoid is anti-Semitic, but speculating whether iDubbbz has CTE is all above board. Yes, I think most of Ethan's actions in his life don't really have much sense.
Or whatever on top said. AB is probably the most disappointing one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, Anissa obviously agrees with what I'm trying to show.
Yep. So, with all that being said, that's the context you wanted to share. So, if you want to proceed with your statement, we're all ears open.
Okay. So, I have a lot I want to say. I wrote it down because I didn't sleep. I didn't want to miss anything. This has been the longest year of my life. It's been the hardest year. Maybe it's gonna fucking kill me. I don't know with my CAT scan results. But no, last night I tweeted, nah, fuck this. I'm done living in fear. My wife and I are not gonna be blackmailed. I'll show y'all.
He said how embarrassing, humiliating it was.
Sorry.
And about my coworkers really just shocked me. And I said, fuck that. Like, I don't care. Like, nah, fuck this. I'm done living in fear. My wife and I are not gonna be blackmailed. I'll show y'all a backbone. See you guys tomorrow. This was in reference to my good friends Ian and Nisa and what they've put me through for the past several months. Now, let me first say that Ian texted me last night after I made this tweet and assured me he would never share any private messages we shared because he is not like my boss, not like Ethan. I'm going to respect that sentiment and not share any private messages as well, but I do want to share the hell that these two have put me through. What they've said publicly is enough.
Is it not just the behavior of your boss and his unwillingness to stop supporting genocide in Israel? Like, I know he says, oh, there's a genocide going on and he thinks that absolves it, but he's unwilling to confront any of it. And I don't think that they put you through this hell. I think it's the behavior of your boss and the fact that he requires sycophants around him who do and never criticize him, who never call him out or anything.
I never wanted to speak bad on them.
You never did.
Huh?
You never did.
I didn't. And seeing how vicious Ian spoke with me yesterday and about my coworkers really just shocked me. And I said, fuck that. Like, I don't care. Like, I would rather be fired than keep living worried about what this fuck's going to say about me or twist about me. But before I get to that, I think it's good to establish some background. The dynamic at play, the power dynamic. And I ask that you stick with me. I promise it'll get good. The tea's coming at the end. But I want to tell everybody who doesn't know, I was a longtime fan of Ian. It was surreal meeting him, getting the chance to be friends with him through the Creator Clash. That may sound cringe, but I'm sorry, this may sound cringe, but one of the coolest moments I've had is when Ian called in wearing my merch that I had for the Creator Clash. That was so cool to me because my first video, I was wearing iDubbbz merch because I was a fan. I was broke at the time I bought his merch, I wanted to support him. Yeah, and again, it sounds lame, but it was a very triumphant moment for me. It felt like a very full circle moment. And I also really liked Anissa. There was a lot that we had in common. We were oddly the same mix, half Lebanese, half Irish. And I know some of the struggles that come with that, with being mixed, and so I really felt for her. Also, we really bonded over having two close family members, having Alzheimer's, her father, my grandma who raised me, and we really bonded through that. And Ian and Anissa were two of the nicest people I've ever met. I've always bragged.
I feel like your boss said that he was going to do unlimited harassment
About them. They introduced me to like everyone. So many other large creators. They took me to so many events, front row sporting events. One time I went to an event with Alex Ernst. I lost my ticket. I found out Ian was there. He somehow was able to get me in. He left his seat, got me in.
I was hoping that there was some more interesting stuff, but this is quite boring, so I don't know how much more I'll cover of this.
That's what a great guy Ian was. But now I realize what this was all about. Ian was trying to fuck me in the ass. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. I'm sorry.
He's creepy.
What someone said in Discord just threw me off.
AB, if I...
Do you think he looks like Cenk? I don't know. I mean, maybe a little bit.
Just to prove what you're saying of how big of a fan you were. I mean, you even fucking ran an ad on Instagram. The two of you guys. That's love right there.
Yeah. I was thinking, I should do this again.
It's so fucking. That's one of my favorite. Honestly, one of my favorite show moments.
That was when I.
By the way, you ask, I've covered that previously. This was ages ago. The Sultana declared your party to be anti-Zionist. I thought there was something more about that. I covered it previously on a stream. It was a while ago.
I'm not really getting that. Instagram.
No, I know what happened.
Yeah. So people can go back and. I'm sorry, but the fact that they did so much for me is why I defended them. That's one of the reasons I thought they're great people, and I felt like they've always got unfair hate online, and I still feel that way. A lot of the stuff they get isn't fair.
What? So why do you like your boss then? Ethan said that he will never, ever, ever leave Anissa alone. Didn't he say that?
Even though now they're inviting legitimate criticism, I believe. People can go back, find all the times I defended Anissa and Ian. I wouldn't even meet with Bobby. When Boblax wanted to give us one of his plushies, which was just a show meme, I wouldn't even meet him in the parking lot because of stuff he said about Anissa. Ooh. Sorry, Bobby, you're still a soundbite legend. But just to express how loyal I was. I had an extra spot for Anissa.
But you guys wore Keemstar's merch recently, didn't they? They wore Keemstar's merch. Like, Keemstar said called his wife a witch, no?
Because I was a mixed kid and I realized wanting to like prove your Arabness, which is something I struggled with, and then I got out of middle school. Also, I grew up around tons of other Arabs in Dearborn, so maybe that's why I grew out of it. And trust me, no matter what I say today, that's going to piss off Anissa the most. And I'm not saying it to be rude. I'm just saying I recognize it because I went through that. I'll touch more on that later. But I want to just say to all my fellow Creator Clash alumni, I'm sorry that it's just going down like this, and I understand we're probably not going to be able to be friends, which sucks because you guys are the main friends I've made out here.
What? That's not true. Everyone's in the same bucket
I
you
don't
are.
blame anyone. You know, who am I?
I don't think everyone else is in the same boat because I think many people feel very negatively towards Ethan because he's like a horrible character.
I don't know. They have that same loyalty to them, and I don't blame them. It was a very special...
Are you sure? Because I've seen a lot of the fighters...
Are you sure? Because I think everyone believes exactly what I say.
Feeling pretty burned by what happened, especially by the third one.
By the third one, yeah, but I don't know.
Well, anyway, okay.
Yeah, the Creator Clash was the coolest thing I've ever been a part of, and but somehow we've gotten to this point where Ian's saying "fuck me" in chat, saying I'm a loser on his stream, which is amazing, by the way, because like I said, for months I've been defending him. I've been called a pussy for defending him, and who's the one that fucks me over is him. Yeah. Oh yeah, throughout this whole stream, by the way, you guys will see when we watch his stream, he keeps saying the problem with this coach is he doesn't know how to communicate his emotions as a man. He doesn't know how to communicate, which I find very fucking funny, being that I communicated with him what I was going through, what they were putting me through, and they do not give a...
I think measuring I think all of this is weird. This is a weird thing to be doing. I think the whole H3 podcast is very unusual. I think it's just a weird situation.
Oh, fuck. Including stuff I never wanted to share publicly, but I'll share with everyone right now. I pay for my grandma's fucking facility. I help out with my grandma's facility. My parents got a divorce. I'm helping with my grandmother because she raised me. My sister, everyone here, half of you don't even know I have a sister because I never talk about her because she's also in an in-treatment fucking facility because she struggles with her own medical problems that I help out with. I share that with nobody but Anissa. She does not give a fuck. She does not care even...
Well, she didn't publicize it.
Even though her father struggles with this stuff, she does not care. I have to leave my job. She's drawn her fucking line in the sand because she has the right to tell me how I provide for me and my fucking family. Let me be clear. I don't care Israel, Palestine. I don't give a fuck. Fuck the world compared to my family. Let me be very fucking clear. I do not give a fuck. Let me be very fucking clear. Is that much of a backbone for you fucking snark idiots?
And just to be clear,
doesn't he also say at some point that he was going to leave the H3 podcast in October? So he's clearly in a financial situation where he can continue that, but I don't know.
you do care very much about Palestinians.
I care, but I'm saying,
you're
like,
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you.
I want to prevent clipping.
Thank you.
No, what you mean is obvious. Is that your family's the most important thing to you?
Yes.
Than like some internet fucking activism.
No, I'm so happy you did. Thank you.
Yeah, because some privileged kids online think that you should quit your job because.
I think it is a Freudian slip. I think, to be honest, and like family of course matters, but so does this stuff. I think politics really does mean something, because these are the lives of so many other people, and your family definitely does matter. But I think at the same time, you can't just be like, my family should get everything, and everyone else should just be fucked off.
You work for Zionists. Easy for them to say.
Not a Zionist, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. No. I'm so glad you did. Please stop me again if I say something stupid.
Got it.
Yeah. Again, I find it rich when I communicate to them what I've been going through. Now, before I get to the shit talking portion of this, I want you all to know I'm putting everything on the line because I'm not going to live the way I've been living the past year. I'm asking that everyone hears me out before jumping to conclusions. I've tried so hard to keep the peace between Ethan and Ian in the beginning, and it's led to the worst fucking year of my life.
But isn't that just more from the person who you're sat in a room with, whose entire life is just dedicated to hating, to trying to deplatform Hassan Piker, to talking about him constantly, which has now spilled over into, like, you're associated with this person. To be honest, Ian's video was not that bad. Like, the original content cop was not that bad. Ethan had to invent stuff like the fucking bleach sword being a Nazi dog whistle when the video was not like about Nazism or anything like that,
Planned on leaving the show next month in October when my lease is up. Nobody knew this, but Lena, Olivia, Anissa, and Ian. So, Lena's my wife.
So they knew that he was going to leave. They knew that he was going to leave.
Oh, and by the way, real quick, let me say the reason that Olivia's not sitting right next to me right now, this is part of it. This is part of the fucking reason. Because Anissa did this shit to her too. And she gave me permission to say that. But yeah, in regards to how these people knew, that was my initial plan. Well, one, Lena's my wife. Olivia's my best friend. Why do Ian and Anissa know? Because they're the fucking reason. They've had some sort of weight on me, and I'm disarming them today. I'd rather lose my job than be talked down to like some sort of coward or looked down upon.
Defending the swastika sword. Bro, what I'm saying about that sword is that what a dog whistle is when you're concealing Nazi-esque politics. Do you really think that Hassan Piker is a Nazi? Like, on a serious note, do you really, really, really think that Hassan Piker is like a Nazi? Do you actually think that that's what he is? That he got that sword to specifically upset and target Jewish people?
By someone I looked up to. What am I talking about? I'm talking about private conversations that we have had. Not that I was talking to a hater, not that I was talking to anyone. I was talking to someone who I believe with Ethan and Hila's close friend, which I never in a million years thought would get.
Look, I probably wouldn't want my private conversations to be leaked, but I'm not having private conversations that will get me in so much fucking trouble because I'm talking shit about someone who will punish me in such a way.
To this point, about disagreements that we've had. And it's nothing that Ethan nor any of you would be shocked about because everything I've said to Ethan's face. It was never with malice or anything. I never divulge any private info, and to be honest, I don't think it's anything serious, but maybe they will twist it to be because they twist fucking everything.
You don't have to be a Nazi to use a dog whistle in your favor. What do you think a dog whistle is, though? What do you think a dog whistle is? Like, what do you think the point of having like using what is it, 1488? What do you think the point of using that is? It's to signal to people that you are a Nazi and that you want to hide Nazi politics. In the same way that we were like talking about Ethan's blackface video. It's like, haha, I'm doing a blackface joke, but I'm not actually doing blackface.
It's the same shit that rap.
And Ethan won't even admit today, oh, actually, that people might see that as a dog whistle. And I will remind you, on the topic of anti-Semitism, Ethan was willing to move over to Kick. I was on one Kick stream. On the Kick stream, it was entirely just anti-Semitic emotes, a chat that was just pure anti-Semitism. And look, social media platforms need to get better at moderating that, but encouraging people and allowing people to have like Nazi emotes like available to them is crazy, and saying, yeah, that platform's serious now.
Fucking Adam McIntyre has done to fucking Olivia in the past, in which I give Ethan credit because you just stopped him from the beginning. You said, I'm not going to blame Olivia for what she confided in a friend.
Yeah. You guys are entitled to have private conversations. You're entitled to fucking vent about work. It's not my business, right?
But you're not entitled to speak out against me on my podcast because that one time he did and he left. What was that all about?
What you say privately in your free time. That's not my. I don't get to fucking tell you what to think and what to say, you know?
But again, it's something I would never do if it wasn't Ian and Anissa.
Sure.
and I'd say 90, like I'd say almost 90, maybe fucking 95%, 100%. It was never me bringing up fucking shit. It was me just trying to navigate my wife being in this fucking event. And then the shit going, I've had them in my home. I had them in my fucking home. We fucking ate, and I fucking tried to de-escalate, and I tried to say to just understand things and give people some fucking grace until I got to a point where I was too fucking far in, and I fucking have not been able to sleep. I have stopped looking at apartments. Our lease is up next month. I canceled the fucking sale of our Michigan house because I don't know what the fuck our future's gonna be. I took out a loan to fucking pay all my bills because this fucking girl thinks she has a right to fucking play games with me, Lena, and even Olivia. And Olivia's not even really fucking involved. Olivia's just a sweetheart who, again, just fucking people take advantage of her niceness and try to fucking reel her in. And when they first released the Contact Cop, they were so apologetic to us. We're so sorry to put you in this situation. And they were living off this high. But as soon as they started to get shit, when it didn't go the way they thought it was going to be, we became the punching bags. Then they wanted to fucking take it out on us. And it's become basically leave your job or you're dead to us. The hypocrisy might fucking kill me. They don't care about my grandma, as I said. They don't care about my sister. Also, for the
your boss is suing Caseytron. Your boss is suing Caseytron. Your boss is suing someone who deals with these problems, who makes nowhere near the money that Ethan does. Ethan is using his money to win in the court of public opinion. He encouraged people who then said hateful things about her. What is this, bro? What is this?
The record, Ian and Anissa, if you wanted to hurt me, just saying you don't fuck with me was enough. Because it's pretty clear how much I looked up to you guys.
Bro, if Hassan said he didn't fuck with me, I'd be like, okay, fine. Like, you know, if people who I looked up to in terms of, like, they had been, like, an inspiring thing as to why I'd started, I'd just be like, okay, I guess, fine. Like, oh, they don't fuck with me. Some people I have looked up to don't fuck with me, you know, so...
And also, do you think that we love this shit? Do you think I love this shit? Do you think the crew fucking loves this shit? Or Ethan and Hila love this shit? Like, I'm living for this. I'm pushing for this. I love that everything I post gets fucking bombarded with fucking hate. I love that I gotta explain to my mom what my comments mean.
Sorry, I just want to talk about this quickly. This is Dylan Saba. I think he's an author who's pretty good. I just don't know if it's the same guy, but one dead Nazi is a tragedy, a reflection of how lost we are, the end of dialogue, a dark tide of callousness and hatred. 100 dead Palestinians a day is the cost of doing business. I just want to point that out. I think it's so, yeah. And Ethan had Alexa, who is suing people on H3. Who is Alexa? I don't know who that is.
I'm loving it, guys. We're loving it. Everyone's pushing for this. As we talked about in the beginning of the show, the fear we're all experiencing, we're all fucking loving it. And before these Anissa and Ian try to frame like we turned on them, we fucking defended you. We defended you before the Content Cop. We defended you the fucking day of the Content Cop to our fucking boss. And you and your little fucking snark friend say we don't have a backbone. You know what? Maybe we don't have a fucking backbone for not fucking being more fucking loyal to Ethan and Hila.
I wouldn't say that. I appreciate the sentiment, but you guys, I'm emotional today.
But even after being called a coward, as I said multiple times for not speaking up on you, Ian, you have the nerve to say block AB in chat. And anyone could go read that post on our subreddit. Go read the post where it says Ian said block AB in chat. See how all the comments say, and AB will still not fucking talk shit about them. That's not snark. That's our own subreddit calling me out now. I'm getting it from all fucking sides. Because you know what? I don't get fucking influenced by fucking idiots like you. No matter what, I'm not gonna fucking hate someone or like someone based on what someone else fucking tells me. And also, yeah, that's the whole point. I sit on the fence, and who uses that term? Ian uses the fucking term, I sit on the fence. Motherfucker, you're gonna miss the days when I sat on the fence.
Bro, this is so lame. I will not watch that much more. This guy is so fucking lame. You're gonna miss the days where I sat on the fence. Oh no, bro.
And by the way, let me be clear. You changed up on us because we didn't speak up. How did this whole fucking beef start again? What was your famous fucking line? Our silence means something. Our silence means something. That applies to you. You could use that when CPS and everything's involved. But us, we have to speak. We have to leave our jobs. Fuck our family.
I feel like Ian made a very big sacrifice by not continuing to just be like a racist, bigoted piece of shit, right? Like, he lost quite a lot about that, and for making a choice to love someone who most people on the internet thought was like a piece of shit and hated and spewed vitriol about, and he made the choice to stand by that person, to continue to, you know, try and make content that was no longer about him just being racist and edgy, and he could have just continued that and made so much money. Like, he could have just pumped out that content for ages, but clearly that's not what he wanted. Former child star who spoke about Nickelodeon while hanging out with predators. She's suing Kat for sharing court documents about Drake Bell's victims. Oh, crazy. Former child star spoke about Nickelodeon while hanging out with predators. Mad. I don't know shit about her, so I'll be careful.
And what's it all about? You're using us because you can't hurt Ethan. That's all it fucking is. I'm not stupid. I know you've...
Yeah, I mean, like, when Ethan was talking about the fucking Nakba, AB was just like... AB was just like, yeah, Palestinians were living in their house, and that was the joke he made. He didn't push back and say, hey, man, that's really fucked, like, blaming Palestinians for being kicked, like, removed from their land. That's really fucked.
Scared everyone else.
Even if you don't know all that much about it, surely you must see that the problem is just ethnically cleansing people.
Off on Twitter. Me, whatever. For whatever fucked up reason, I don't care. I'll still post. And I'm not stupid. I know all this fucking comments are because Ethan's on Twitter, so they're using me. And so what did I do? I said I couldn't live this way. I told you guys I'm gonna leave in October when my lease is up. I just couldn't live this way. Maybe I'm just overthinking. I am very anxious. Maybe that's why. Knowing that, you still talk shit on stream. You know why you did? I think you did because Ethan made fun of how many viewers you have. I think you wanted to fucking come at me now.
Less than 100.
And Anissa, I've always offended you, but get over the fucking mixed kid trauma. I understand wanting to prove your Arabness, but I got over that shit in middle school. You want to prove it so bad, you're willing to do anything to prove it. I recognize that in you, and that's why I defended you. I know how judgmental old school Arabs can be, and that's also why I defended you. And what I see in chat yesterday, I'm the biggest disappointment. You know what? You know, watching my cousins grow up and be able to speak Arabic with my grandma and all this stuff and all these different things that I wish I got being full Arab, I hated being mixed. You know, the one fucking thing I think I got out of it is that I could be less fucking judgmental because I had to understand why my grandma would say things on one side that make them off as racist to Arabs and vice versa. But you didn't even get the one fucking benefit we get as being mixed.
Dan Schinder. And what?
Next. No, you want to prove your Arabness and be fucking judgmental. I'm very proud to be Arab. Clearly you are too. But let's not play stupid. Like everyone would again, it's the reason I was defensive of you because I knew you'd be judged for shit like your husband taking your fucking last name or you doing OnlyFans. You know who wouldn't fucking judge you for that? Me. And before anyone tries to frame that as me being racist, bad empanada, you ugly fuck, before he tries to, oh, Arabs, he says Arabs are all whatever the fuck, suck my halal fucking dick. How's that for you?
I mean, he's not Arab. I feel like he tries to look.
Yeah, bad empanada's trying to look Arab. Poor AB has to support his grandmother in a pension and also to live in a $17,000 apartment. Wait, $17,000 a month. Thank you for the donation. I don't even know what currency that is. What is an ARS currency? Argentina peso. Oh. Peso, not peso. Weird we're talking about bad empanada and all of a sudden it comes through. He's a former Nickelodeon producer. Oh, I see.
Like he is, but he's not.
He is ugly.
He is ugly.
Oh, and talking about OnlyFans. Here, I have a little question for you guys. She wants me to quit my job because I work for Zionist. Do you guys know who was alleged #1 donator to AIPAC since October 7? Can anyone guess?
I know.
The CEO of fucking OnlyFans.
He's #1.
#1 since October 7.
He is the man.
Yep.
He's not 10. He's not 11. 5. He's the biggest donor.
He denies
to
it.
AIPAC.
He denies it, but it's go look into it. It's pretty fucking clear.
It's him. It's not really that complicated. It's his wife doing it, and obviously, it's him. He's the biggest donor.
I'd heard people say that. I didn't know he was the biggest donor.
I've already iterated this point, but beyond the mixed thing, also, like I said, we bonded over our family's medical problems, but you don't give a fuck. It's just because I act like I'm happy doesn't mean I am. Some people don't like being burdens on others. You should take fucking notes. But yeah, you know everything, but you don't give a fuck. What did you do when I opened up to you? You ran your mouth to everyone and allowed everyone of your stupid fucking friends to fucking threaten me. You allowed Denims to threaten me. you fucking allow, when she insinuated that she knew something. How the fuck would she know anything? I've never spoken a word to Denims. I've never exchanged a DM with Denims. When Milhouse threatened me, how the fuck?
Milhouse threatened me?
Does this bozo know?
Yeah, I think I've sort of had enough of this.
Retweeting Adam saying fuck the crew. Okay. By the way, Milhouse, let me cut you off and say, hey, let me tell you, bro, as a Lebanese man, we accept you. We don't accept AB. Hey, really he doesn't even speak Arabic. Here. Tell me how my Arabic is with that.
شكرا حبيبي. الشعب يريد إسقاط النظام. It's not that hard to say a phrase in Arabic.
Frogan, let me clarify with Frogan.
Not even well.
Frogan, and this whole narrative of like, oh, you're a coward, you switched up on Frogan. Let me tell you how many times I hung out with Frogan. Zero. I, as an Arab, wanted to help her out when I found out she was coming out here. When she ran for Rising Star, me and Lena made custom shirts. Frogan better win or we riot. When I did a PowerPoint about Dearborn, I just inserted her. Any attention I could help her with. Creator Clash, I fucking gave her a ticket. I'm the one that got her fucking VIP access. Fuck me, I didn't know Anissa would be attracted to her scarf. Like fucking, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I want to support her as a fellow Arab. And even when she started shit with my boss, I interrupted Ethan. Go watch the first time he talks about Frogan. I say she's our friend.
Yeah, you
Why?
did.
Because I was trying to help a fellow Arab.
And by the way...
Also, like, it's not impossible to learn Arabic, by the way, especially if you're around Arabs all the time. Like, my friends are really good at speaking Arabic. Like, I often feel like, oh, I should have learned Arabic, but, like, I learned Persian instead, and the reason I don't speak Persian all that well is because, one, it's a very complex language to speak, and I missed my opportunity when I had a housemate that spoke it. And why I say it's a complex language to speak is that it's so different from writing it and speaking it formally. But you can learn these things, you know? And, like...
You and maybe I think it was Olivia at the time too, and Love, I remember. we're speaking kindly of her, and at the time it pissed off some of our fans in the context of everything that was happening. But once again, I completely empathize with the situation you guys are in, you know, because you're right in the middle of something and you're being judged on both sides, and it's really hard to...
I think at a certain point I just have to say enough. Right, I'll do until 8 UK time, so 7 more minutes.
No. We all want to do the right thing, and it's really hard to know what the right thing is to do, right? And that's all any of us are trying to do is the right thing.
We've been judged by both sides, but only you and Hila have treated us like fucking humans. Like, give us any sort of decency.
I just find that, like, a really unusual thing to say when, you know, the... I find it very hard to say when... I find that very hard to say with the way that he talks. The way that he talks online. Also, by the way, someone has posted now Itamar Ben-Gvir's number. People are just posting the numbers of Israeli government officials.
And you know, and again, this might accept you, Hassan too, and that's why to this day I haven't talked anything about Hassan. To his credit, he has said the crew is in a situation. I have nothing, nothing to say about them. Maybe he'll get bullied into it after this and talk about me. But until then, that's why I haven't said anything. And last week, whenever Milhouse did a fucking fundraiser...
Thank you for the donation, Carlos Facepaint.
...stream, even though he's talked constant shit, said me and Leon are pathetic, all this shit about us, I still donated. And they say, oh, he did this, but we don't forgive you. We don't go... Bro, he sounds like a Lebanese Logan Paul. I don't know how the fuck people listen to... I don't know, bro. And he repeats the same fucking
Just to be clear, you said you don't know how people listen to him? They don't.
True.
Nobody listens to him.
Also, seems like you can make up Elijah's an Israel supporter as long as you just... as long as your only source is I'm Lebanese / Palestinian, just trust me, bro. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just crazy. I want to talk to Itamar. I don't know. What is that what you want to say to him? And also, yeah, thank you for everyone who's supported and such.
Sure, well, he always says, H3 refugees, come over here, bro. But anyways.
Yeah, of course. Snarkers are the only ones who would fucking endure that.
All the shit he's talked about me and Lena, I donated to his stream because if people said I was doing it because I wanted forgiveness from the snark, or I wanted to be absolved of my sins. I don't give a fuck. It's a blessing that none of you are ever going to be my fucking audience. The reason I did it, one, because I know it's hard to believe. It's an important cause, okay? I'm very sincere about what's going on in Palestine, about caring about it. Two, I think it's important when everyone is framing us, no matter how true it is or isn't, as being divisive. I think it's important to show that we can put our differences aside and still support a good cause.
Sorry, I was muted. Muted ass guy. Crazy ass muter. I can't believe I did that. Terrible. Sorry, bro. An Israeli mayor is to name a traffic circle in honor of Charlie Kirk. Hold on, let me see if this is true. Which mayor is it? The mayor of Netanya is set to name a Charlie Kirk circle. Bro, if you are such a good friend of Israel that you are getting something named after you by an Israeli mayor, you have not led a fantastic life, I'll just say that much. Israel Katz is getting really annoyed. Israel Katz is like posting constantly about him, about being hacked. Sorry, I need to just live stream. And hold on. Shit, I need to check something. Really enjoy your streams, content. Big ups from Chicago. Thank you so much, Casey, for the incredibly kind donation. Thank you for everyone who's donated today, and I'm glad you enjoy it. I mean, it's education based, but yeah. I mean, Israeli Defense Ministry is going nuts. I think I might make a TikTok about this because this is funny. Organized Islamist jihadist gangs from various countries around the world call my unclassified, leave their messages of abuse and threats. Oh, we read it earlier, bro. This is funny. This is what the picture looks like. Yeah, honestly, I can't get enough of it. Oh. The hackers just signed their death certificates. I find out Chris was doing prank calls and not letting us listen, unfortunately. Charlie Kirk quote, Jewish communities have been pushing the exact kind of hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using against them. Exactly. Charlie Kirk was a very hateful man. Like, I mean, I don't doubt that Charlie Kirk's saying that. I don't know where it comes from. But yeah, like, look what Charlie Kirk was calling for. Charlie Kirk calls for full military occupation of American cities once we liberate DC. Bro, people are crying over this guy, and he just wanted extreme, unlimited violence against minorities and those he deemed inferior to him. Simple fix. You steal a car, 25 years in prison. I don't care if you're a teenager. I don't care if... Well, I was raised without a dad. Well, you're going to go meet a new one in jail. We're done. We're not putting up with it. We need more prisons. We need more prisoners. Black women do not have brain processing power to be taken seriously. You have to go steal a white person's slot. Bro, Ethan Klein cried about Charlie Kirk live yesterday. Ethan, like, cried about Charlie Kirk. Like, he cried about Charlie Kirk live. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. If Hassan died tomorrow, Ethan Klein would post a video, like, dancing on his stream. Like, if Hassan died of some natural cause, he would dance about it. That's why the libs and conservatives love him and want to whitewash his image. Bro, I think, like, the things that this man has said are crazy. Like, being shot and saying, like, hey, political violence and gun violence in America needs to be dealt with. This is so crazy that someone was shot on a university campus because of all of the other shootings that are going on. I think there is definitely something to be said about that a shooting occurred on a campus, that there is something wrong going on there. But saying that this guy was like some poor martyr of free speech and that he really wanted to just bring about debate and stuff is not really true, is it? It's just not really true. It's just not really like a thing that you know. Yeah. I'll send you £50 right now if you call Ben Gavir. No, I won't call Ben Gavir. Also, I'm gonna have to edit this stream. I just realized because yeah, I'll talk about it. Fuck. This stream, the VOD won't be public of this stream. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to private the VOD, which sucks. But I'm not. Thank you for the donation, but I'm not prank calling Ben Gavir, I'm afraid. Wait, hold on. I need to check something. But I'll have to private it because... No. Yeah, it's not the... Is it because you should... Yeah, it is because I shared Israel Cat's phone number twice. I didn't mean to do that. In fact... Oh, fuck. Ooh, fuck. Members only. I can't even have it up as members only. I can't have it. I can't have it up as members only. I accidentally shared his fucking phone number, bro. Fuck. Guys, I swear I did not mean to. Fuck. Please. I can't have it up. I'm afraid. Everything else, DK. It was so incidental. I didn't even think. I just didn't even think. Bro's doing the racism voice. Is that what I'm doing? Stop the stream and restart. You weren't calling to attention to it. Move on. Yeah, I know. Someone noticed in chat, though, so everyone was going to realise. Fuck. I would call it and say my name is Abdullah. Yeah, maybe stop the stream.